I'm not ready.
Ready?
3.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Damsels in Distress, Demons and Daughters, episode 8. Tension as we begin the episode. Who wants to go first and introduce themselves? I'll go first. My name's Lyndon Rufus Winters. I am your dungeon master today. You guys are...
Waving.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yes.
My name is Morne, Putman Trimmer. I play Agatha Pentecost.
This is intense. Ooh.
And my big brother Albert used to tell me many a manly story. I don't know.
My name is Maijai Hibbard, and I play Thalia Bronton. And Rosalind's older brother used to tell me manly stories.
I'm Taya Campbellova. I play Rosalind Penhallow. And Rosalind greatly enjoys hearing all these manly stories.
Cool.
To clarify, it was Edwin, not Archie.
I mean, Edwin has stories. He has stories. They're just not exactly manly.
Yeah, I retcon Rosalind doesn't like hearing Edwin's manly stories.
I like how my made-up fact became a trend.
Yeah,
It was great.
it was very slay.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Should we have an intro?
Should we have an intro? Yes, let's have an intro and get on with...
That's disgusting.
I thought it would be funny.
Ew, that's not very Rosalind
falls
of
off
you.
a horse and dies. Gross.
Somebody sees
I've got
Rosalind do that.
Now I've got to get it out of me before I'm Rosalind. I've got to get all my grossness out.
Anyway, intro, boom.
Bam. Welcome back. Last week, when we left them, the girls had enjoyed a fanciful trip to White's, disguised as men and guests of Colin Jefferson, who was not in attendance that day, but they rolled high enough to blag their way through, and somewhat uneventful. Let's start again. No, I am now. Now that I'm going to start again, I'm going to start again. Okay.
How believe we made it through, bagged our way through, with charisma stats that we've got, and not with you.
Hilarious.
Welcome back. Last week, when we left off, the girls had enjoyed escapades and trips to... No, I don't want escapade. I don't know how to describe it in a really fun way. Okay. And welcome back. That was too joyful. Too joyful.
Bruh.
Okay, this is your last take.
Yeah,
That's
you're
not how it
allowed.
works. It's not how it works.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome back. Last week, the girls went to White's, disguised as men. They blagged their way in with some very fortunate rolls. My rolls were very poor, so it wasn't very fun. for me. Rosalind visited the opera and had a lovely time with the Viscount. Very uneventful. Back in White's, the girls searched the room their fathers had been staying in and managed to discover some odds and ends the fathers had left behind. A key, a ruby, and a gold coin. We don't know what they're for. We don't know why they were there. Upon returning home, everyone exchanged knowledge of their evenings, and retired to their bedrooms. There was before that there was a little tete-a-tete with the Viscount over a game of cards. Then retired to the bedrooms to sort of do your own things. There was a little bit of wind blowing around the house, and then you all hopefully got a good night's sleep. And that's where we pick up. The morning. No sounds of cockerels to greet you in the city. Just pigeons and ravens and a dog. Now I don't have to add those sounds in post. And I'll use that sound every time that there's a dog.
It's giving kids game teaching you the animal sounds.
I don't know what you were looking at me for. The morning. It's morning. Do the D&D.
Okay, well, Thalia slept restlessly, and it took a long time for her to get to sleep. But she has woken up.
Did you get 8 hours sleep?
What time did we go to bed? What time is it now?
It's 7.
What time is it?
It's 7:14.
There you go.
So 11. So, what time does the opera end?
Don't know. It was like 10, but we left early.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had a big card game and a big chat.
So probably not.
Okay. One level of exhaustion for you.
I slept wonderfully.
Fantastic.
I slept through the big bang that was heard.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the morning. Yeah, I've had a good night's sleep.
Nice. Roll a d20 for me.
Bruh. 3.
Cool. Carry on.
Rosalind also didn't sleep well because I also went to bed late, and then I carried on just sort of looking at my father's things and just wanting something to do, and realising that because I'm in London, none of the things that normally help me sleep, like none of the books that I read are there, so I just struggled. So I think I'm also going to have a level of exhaustion.
Sure.
I can't get mine to work.
Why?
I don't know, it's just not adding on.
Oh?
It's morning. You are invited to breakfast by various knocks on your doors, polite knocks.
I call for a maid and dress in the cleanest of the 2 dresses that are mine that I have with me. And yeah, take a little bit of time to get ready, sort of try and hide how tired I am before I head downstairs.
All your clothes have been cleaned over the evening, mysteriously. Or
All
not.
of ours?
Yes.
Okay.
Good job I got out mine last night then.
Yeah.
As if you didn't sleep in those men's clothes.
I put on my dress and I also head downstairs to where the others are sitting.
Fabulous. The Viscount is already at the table, enjoying fruit. He loves fruit.
Was it grown in Spain?
What kinds of fruit does he have?
Oranges, some bananas, pineapple, a couple of apples are sitting there to the side, plums, peaches, quite an array.
My
Figs.
goodness. We never have such fruits as this at home. Or perhaps on special occasions.
Well, just yes, help yourself. Have as much as you like. I have plenty.
Thank you. I'm going to take some fruit.
The oranges are from my orangery in Spain.
How wonderful.
I have them shipped in. Normally we just sell on the continent, but yes, I keep the best for myself. Please have one.
Well,
I take an apple.
I'm going to take an orange.
Mm-hmm.
I take an orange, just...
It's delicious. It's the most delicious orange you ever had.
It really is. That's after like one bite.
Bite.
Like,
Did you just bite into it? It's canon.
No, no,
it's canon.
not.
You just bit into an orange.
No.
Having never had one in your life before.
Sorry, I've had them at like Christmas. And also I don't need to specify I've peeled the orange. It's like, and also in my head they were like cut up on a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my head they were like
We'll take a vote.
presented.
Who thinks Rosalind picked up the orange and just took a bite?
No, this is out of character. I would know how to eat an orange.
Sure.
Bruh.
Sure.
You
Well,
think
you've
we
just
did
been
not?
outvoted, so it doesn't matter.
No one voted. Just
Well,
me.
Exactly.
So I won.
No, no.
Because you said
didn't
vote
give
who
us-
said that, and then the opposite is who thinks Rosalind ate it properly.
Yeah,
Put
but
your
we
hand
didn't.
up.
We didn't do that bit. No,
No,
I
we've
we
haven't-
done
just
it
did.
now.
Just done it.
Yeah, but that's not official
You're
DM
wrong.
stuff.
Okay, but
Fine, you peel your orange.
no, in my
It's
head
alright-
they're nicely displayed.
The same with me.
So is the pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even the apples I thought were like
Yeah.
bite size.
Bite-sized apple. You just. And the Viscount's like, never mind.
Is there any like bread on the table? Like toast?
Yes, there's no toast, but some fresh warm bread is brought in with some butter, some jams, a few selections of jams, a marmalade. The marmalade is also made with the oranges from my estate. Please do try some.
Oh yes, I must try some of that.
I just buttered toast.
I stick with my orange. I'm not finished.
You
Well-
can taste the authenticity.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind.
It's chaos already.
Stuff that comes out of this woman's mouth. Okay,
Well,
I'm fine.
shops are generally starting to open around now. I promised you a day out, and I, as you can tell, am an early riser. Whenever you feel like you'd like to head out, I can have the carriage brought round front, and we'll go and enjoy a day of shopping, shall we?
Oh, that sounds
A
wonderful.
little sightseeing. Is there anything particular that you girls had in mind to visit?
I have an item of clothing that needs to be altered.
This is the place for it. Mayfair has many tailors and seamstresses. And I was planning on just giving you a tour of those. Oxford Street is obviously just on the corner here. Number of shops there, and Savile Row, and Regent Street, and Bond Street, and... Tell me if I'm boring you, but these
You're
are...
boring me. I mean, I would rather see them as you tell me about them rather than just hear names. It means nothing.
Right, yeah, I mean, roll something for that. I don't even know what. Roll,
Tack.
roll...
She wouldn't have said that.
Okay.
She would have said the after bit about
Okay,
That's her
okay.
thoughts.
Okay, be careful because I'm gonna not give you so many chances.
We each get one not canon an episode.
Yeah, that you've used your there.
That's the rule.
You've
Okay.
used it. Anything else out of your mouth now is canon.
Okay.
Well, I should simply be very happy to visit some dressmakers and see about some new things. As I've said, we're not sure how long we shall be imposing on your kindness, and so, yes, it really will not do to stay with the few things we have brought with us.
No, of course. And have you had any thoughts in regards to how long you might stay, or if you plan to write to your mother? I can have a message delivered.
I think it best not to trouble her until we are more certain on things. As we have not even heard news of Archibald yet, I should hate to only cause her more worry.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Oh, and I'm at disadvantage. 11.
11. Okay.
Thank God for my +6.
I see. Well, let's see what we can find out today and get some good news for your families.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm just finishing up here. Please enjoy the rest of breakfast. I'm going to get ready and dressed for the day, arrange a carriage, and...
Before you leave,
yes,
do you,
Agatha,
by any chance, have any maps of London? I would just love to see if there's any museums around that I could go visit.
Oh yes, maps. I'm sure I have a few old maps laying around. As for museums, we have the British History Museum, and he names other museums. Yes, quite a number. Interesting ones, small and large.
I would like to visit a museum that is a little more hidden away.
One of the smaller ones.
Yes.
Wonderful. Did you have one in mind, or just something?
No, that's why I would like to look at a map, see what piques my interest.
Okay, well, I will see what I can find.
Thank you.
He stands up, sort of puts down his little napkin, lays it on the table. Staff come and clean up after him as he walks out, leaving you alone. A couple of staff sort of coming in and out.
Was the lion's head in my bedroom when I woke up?
No. No.
Well, I shall finish getting ready for our outing. Just awkwardly go back upstairs and, get my reticule together.
I excuse myself from the table and head upstairs. Just wait for everyone to be ready.
Am I alone in the dining room?
Well, you're not alone. 2 staff members are just silently standing there, waiting. The lion's head's not in the dining room.
Okay, I leave and go up to my room and pack the trousers into a bag.
Cool. A little while later, you're all ready to head out. You let the Viscount know. He brings his carriage around the front. It's not the fancy one that you've been moving around in recently. It's a little more. It's still nice, but it's not the fancy gold trim black one. It's made of wood. It's polished. It's oiled. It's still got gold trim on it. It's pulled by the same white horses, and that's brought around the front. And you all are invited into the carriage.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Cool. And away you go. You head to the end of the street, so you pass a couple of houses. You pull off round into Oxford Street and pull up to a stop outside your first stop. That was supposed to be funny.
Haha.
What?
You
A
literally
stop outside our first stop.
you travelled for about 20 seconds.
Oh.
Okay, that is funny then.
Can I just ask? Are all of the carriage rides going to be quite so short?
Oh, we've got lots. This is just the first stop.
Right.
There's many shops to visit. I would hate for your feet to get tired.
Are they all as close to each other as...
Oh, no. Some are many streets away.
Right.
As far as 3 or 4 streets. So, I've stopped here outside Mrs. Charlotte Beans. She's a wonderfully well-known seamstress.
Would I recognise the name?
Probably, yes.
Nice.
One of the preeminent ones in London. You'll find many of her designs in Ackerman's Repository of Arts.
Yes, I believe I've noted quite a few.
Well, shall we? He jumps out then, offers you his hand.
I take it.
Gloved hand comes out. Okay, he sort of offers you a hand.
Yep.
Wonderful. Carriage door closes. And, wait right here. We will perhaps be half an hour. He says to the carriageman. Well, shall we go inside?
I look at Rosalind and look back after hearing half an hour.
Rosalind's like, oh, that doesn't sound very long, but all right then.
Cool.
She doesn't say that out loud.
Okay. The building is a 3-story red brick building. Out the front, you've got your sort of arched, rounded window full of little mini panes. There are 2 dresses sitting on mannequins there. Beautiful, like sort of very, very flamboyant ball gowns, sort of showing off the best that she can offer. And you head in through the door.
I just sort of look longingly at the ones in the window as I walk in.
As you go inside, you're greeted with, on one side you have all these bolts of various coloured materials, ribbons and fabrics and all sorts. On the other side, there are a number of sort of hats hanging on the wall, shoes and sort of pre-made sorts of things, as well as a number of other mannequins with various dresses and various like parts of dresses and stuff. And above you, you can hear a sort of this constant knocking and clacking and rhythmic sounds of machinery, as you can hear sort of the upstairs seamstresses working away on whatever it is they're working away on. Some of London's most fashionable dresses. And a slightly older woman, perhaps 40s, looks up from where she was sitting, with her pushes her glass. Ah, guests. Oh, Viscount Sallingham, my lord. So good to see you. Welcome, and you bring me customers. I see. Wonderful. Yes. Welcome to my store.
Good morning, madam. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. May I get your name?
Miss Rosalind Penhallow.
Oh, Miss Rosalind Penhallow. Penhallow. A pleasure. And you are?
Thalia Bronte.
Thalia Bronte, a pleasure.
Miss Agatha Pentecost.
Miss Agatha Pentecost, a pleasure. She gives you all a little curtsy and a bow.
I awkwardly bow
I-
my head back.
Yeah, I put my head down.
Do a little, like, very tiny little curtsy.
Sure. Yes, what are you in mind for today?
Well, I believe I cannot speak for the others, but I am in need of a new dress or two.
Wonderful. This is the place for it.
I have an item of clothing that needs some alteration, but I am not sure if it is quite what you're used to.
Of course. Describe it to me.
Well, it's... And I just pull out the trousers and hand them to her.
Oh my. And who are these for? Do you have their measurements? Yeah, I would imagine
That's
so.
like how you have dresses made.
Yes, I know the measurements.
I mean, I tend not to do men's trousers, but
I could take them to a tailor if you prefer. I'm sure the Viscount could show me where to go.
there are a number of wonderfully talented men that do work with suits, and I'm sure they would do a much better job than I.
I shall do that then, thank you.
Well, yeah, I will leave it up to you then, my lord, to recommend recommend a tailor for them? Yes, I know a number, of course.
Put the trousers back in my bag.
In the meantime, I have wandered over to the wall of fabrics, and I'm just kind of like in awe, like looking through all the different ones.
Yes, Mrs. Charlotte Bean moves to stand beside you, and she says, is there a particular one that speaks to you?
Well, I must say it's a rather overwhelming selection. In our village, our seamstress is a remarkable woman and does a fantastic job, but I have never before had such choices. It is a marvel to see. I've admired your work in the repository for quite some time.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, you do excellent work with detail and such like.
Thank you.
Perhaps one of these, and I'm gesturing to some like sort of my shade of like pink fabrics.
Yes, we could certainly put something together here for you.
Thank you.
Was there a particular style you had in mind, or would you like to leave it up to me?
Well, perhaps somewhere in the middle. And I'm going to go over to like one of the mannequins that I noticed that looks exactly like one of the pages in the repository that I've always sort of come back to. And I've tried to sort of get Susan Green to like work to over the years, but she's not quite. And just something with this sort of the waistline and the drapery at the top it's quite exquisite. And I've yes, something like that. But I shall leave the fine details in your hands.
Thank you. Yes, that's a wonderful choice. It's very popular among the ton right now.
Yes. For good reason.
Shall we proceed with some measurements for you?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. In the meantime, is there anything for you girls that jumps out at you?
While this conversation has been happening, I've been looking at like the different stuff. I touched some of them, but nothing really jumps out at me.
None of the hats, none of the shoes.
Nope.
What sort of shoes are there?
A little bit of everything. There's sort of kind of organised in size and stuff. So there's riding boots to one end, all the way down to sort of silk slippers at the other.
Rosalind's just remembered there are shoes. No, I shall look at shoes after the measurements have been done, of course.
Wonderful. Well then, clicks of fingers. A couple of younger looking people come over. If you head back with these young ladies, they can measure you up.
Wonderful, thank you.
Are there any sort of boots that would be like the boots that I would want?
Yeah, I mean, boots are sort of boots. They're sort of brown leather, black leather. Some are high, some are low, sort of just above the ankle. Some are up to the knee.
But they're not like dainty with small heel ones.
No, they're functional sort of riding boots mostly. Like they're showy, but they're functional. Of course.
Well, I must say, I don't know an awful lot about dresses, but I suppose we should get another one each, given the circumstance.
Yes.
But if I would leave all of my details and choices to somebody who knows more, I shall leave it to you, and I'm sure Rosalind would be able to suggest some things that might help.
Yes, of course. Should we get both your measurements?
Yes, I suppose that is a good idea.
Yes, wonderful. Does another click, 2 more people appear out of nowhere. Please head off, enter the back rooms, and yes, get yourselves measured up too.
If I could just suggest that it is green.
Green, yes.
Thank you.
Was there a particular colour you had in mind?
I prefer blue.
Blue, wonderful. Please this way then, and yes.
The Viscount just hanging out in the like entrance of the shop.
Yeah, he's sort of inspecting the hats. He's looking down at the hats, just admiring them. There are sort of hats with these big feathers in them, like ostrich feathers, and smaller ones that sort of have these other small, like very brightly coloured feathers, and some have these elaborately silk sewn petals and flowers and that sort of stuff. Some are just simple hats with ribbons, some are straw, some are fabric. And he's just sort of just going down the line, just looking like he knows what he's looking at. Interesting.
Nice.
Just admiring them.
Does he actually know what he's looking at?
Roll insight on him.
Yeah, with disadvantage, of course.
8.
Yeah.
Knows as much as you.
Cool.
So you will get measured up. These young people are just sort of, they whip off all your clothes, basically, strip you down to your linens, whatever, and so they're spinning you around, doing measurements here, doing measurements there, pencils, writing down paper, lots of scribbles. They're very efficient at this, while your clothes are sort of hung on hangers just beside you, and then
Talia
you're
is
measured
not
up.
enjoying being manhandled quite this much.
Mm-hmm.
Neither am I. I'm feeling quite out of my depth.
Rosalind's
He's having
really
a
happy.
wonderful time.
Arms go out, elbows to wrists are measured, shoulders to shoulders, bust, waist, legs, inside hem, outside hem, around the hem. All of the hems are measured. Necklines and foreheads, and they measure the size of your ears just to make sure it matches with I don't know. And after a while, you're all measured up, and they help you get dressed again. I think we're all done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Not a problem. You can let me lead you back downstairs now. And one of the young girls, leads you back downstairs. Even though I said round the back, but you went upstairs now. It's canon.
It's so impressive. The way you all know your craft is truly of the highest degree.
Oh, I've worked for Mrs. Bean for years. I'm pretty lucky to have been able to work here since I was 7 years old. So I'm pretty talented.
It's like I can imagine. It is evident in the way that you simply know what to look for, and then exactly the right timings. It's quite astonishing to see.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she's trained us real well.
You should be very proud of your accomplishments over the years.
Thank you. I'll be sure to let her know your praises. This way, if just through this curtain here, I'll lead you back onto the main floor.
Yes, I was also wondering about perhaps a new pair of shoes.
Yes, we have many. Were you looking for custom-made, or we do have a number of pre-made shoes?
Perhaps, yes, I shall take a look at the pre-made, ready-to-wear shoes.
That's right. Well, they're all over here, as you can see.
Rosalind is going to pick the most ridiculously impractical, dainty, easily ruined shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They're also very pretty.
Okay.
At the exact same time, Talia's picking up a pair of chunky boots.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So your boots are... Yeah, you've gone for the sort of just below the knee height. No?
No, just above the ankle.
Just above the ankle, okay. By chunky, I thought you meant big. You've got some ankle-heighted boots. They have a small heel on them of about an inch with a wide platform, because they all do. They're sort of a dark brown leather with some gold buckles on either side. Black stitching, very well made. They look solid, they look like they should be comfortable, and they look hard wearing. You pick up a pair of silk shoes with a sort of pinkish hue to them. The laces are also made of a white silk. And they run up just above the ankle, a little bit taller, so they're sort of like DM boot size, kind of like a few inches above the ankle. Beautiful. They've got a very small heel, sort of the size of a penny down the bottom that runs up maybe 2 inches high. Yeah, beautiful, soft, elegant material. And they look lovely.
Might I try these?
Yes, of course. We have a number of those. Let me just measure your feet and we'll see which ones will fit.
Thank you.
She pulls out a tape measure from her pocket, gets down, gives your foot a quick measure, and then moves over to one of the shoes. I think these ones should be the right fit for you.
Wonderful, thank you.
If you'd like, if you want to take a seat over here, you can try them on.
Of course, I do that.
Again, a couple of the younger staff rush over to help you untie or whatever shoes you're wearing now. Remove those shoes, help you put on the new ones.
Could I possibly try these?
Absolutely. Yes. Again, you can take a seat next to Miss Rosalind, and we can help you into those. They look like they should be the right size for you, actually. The boots are a little more forgiving.
At this point, I've had a look around the shop. Nothing has really spoken to me. And I realised that I think I need some fresh air. So I go towards the entrance just to wait outside the door.
Yep, sure. Is there anything the matter?
No, everything's fine. I would just like some fresh air, please.
Oh, of course. He opens the door for you.
I'll be right here.
Of course.
And I stay in the window. People can see me.
Yeah. And the carriage is right in front. Anyway.
Yeah.
The coachman's also there.
Yeah. Can I have a look at the street around me? What do I see?
So you're at the beginning of Oxford Street. So you can see the park to your right as you look out over the street. And if you look sort of up the street, it's just houses and stuff. Just a handful, really. It's very nice houses. If you look down the street towards the centre of London, it's sort of row upon row upon row of various shops, intermingled with a few houses, lots of above the shops, residentials. But yeah, from what you can tell here, just a number of shops serving a bit of everything. You spot a baker's just over the road. You can see a sort of a grocer's perhaps next to him. Just everything you can imagine for life in London. Candlestick makers, bakers, butchers, many sort of shops that sell like tools and various other clothes makers, and then your sort of eyes run into the distance and it gets harder to pick out what's there.
Okay, I just stand there and look around, really. Yeah.
Okay, you try on your shoes. They all fit.
Right. Very happy with my shoes. I then remember that there are ribbons here.
Yes.
So I'm just going to go and browse some of the ribbons if that's quite all right.
Oh, yes. If you need any reach down for you, just let someone know.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'm just like captivated. This is Rosalind's heaven. And I'm just sort of looking through, like feeling the different like textures and fabrics, and just generally having like a really good time, and sort of like marking out like a few that I would like.
Yes. Mrs. Bean, as I say Bean, is sort of having a quiet conversation with the Viscount as you're perusing. What are you doing? The boots fit?
Cool. I change back into my shoes. These look lovely. And I turn to the Viscount. I think that might be all from here. I believe Rosalind might take a while. Could you point me to the tailor's, I suppose, so I can get the trousers altered?
Yes, we can make that the next stop if you wish. I believe that some of the best tailors are just a few streets away.
I mean, We could. I wouldn't want to bore her by taking her to a tailor's when she is so engaged here. I could walk there on my own.
Oh, I think it's probably best if we all stick together for the day. I would hate for you to get lost in the hubbub of London. It's quiet now, but trust me, things get busy. And it is market day as well.
Right. I shall wait outside then.
Yes, not a problem.
And I head out to go stand with Agatha.
Okay. By this point, I'm done with ribbons, and there's just, let's say 3 that I've had one of the girls reach and get for me.
Sure.
And then I'm starting to realise that the other 2 have gone outside and that I'm being really annoying. And I'm also...
No one seems annoyed at you.
I know, but I'm very aware that the Viscount said he was paying for everything, and I still want to be ladylike and not expect too much. That said, I am, however, going to go back to the Viscount. Forgive me, but you know so much more about London society than I, and have had, of course, so much more experience and immersion, and I should just love to know if there was anything you would recommend that you would think particularly suitable for me to have.
Oh, Mrs. Bean really knows her stuff. She said the dress that you've picked out is perfect. Wonderful for life in London right now. So I would go with her recommendations. I always trust those around me who know better about these things. That's how you get ahead in life. Know who to trust.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, in that case, then I think I shall leave it there.
Excellent, excellent. I have already spoken with her, so yes, we can head off, and this dress will be delivered to you tomorrow. We're going to work on it straight away.
Incredibly fast. I'm not used to this sort of service.
We are very efficient in London.
Yes. I thank you again. You're doing so much for us, and
Oh, it really is nothing.
I'm very grateful.
It's just the right thing to do. Shall we then?
Yes.
I believe your cousin wishes to visit Bond Street and a number of the tailors there.
Yes, she does. Thank you all. I said that's to everyone. It has been an honour, Miss Bean, to experience the way that you work firsthand.
Oh, you're quite welcome. It's an honour to have another esteemed customer. And yes, your dress will be ready for you tomorrow.
Yes, I'll look forward to it greatly.
I will deliver it myself, since it is so close by.
Wonderful.
You're more than welcome. Thank you so much for your customerage. So
it is my pleasure. Truly.
You're welcome.
Sort of I look longingly again at the rest of the shop before I leave.
Cool. Yep, you head out. The coachman puts out his pipe that he was smoking on. You'll head back into the carriage. The Viscount gives a little knock. And he says, take us to Bond Street, sir. And the horses head off. You move, probably riding for about 3-4 minutes. You take a right turn onto Bond Street, if my map skills are right. And yes, you arrive on Bond Street. Right, well, there are a number of tailors here. Would you like me to just point the best ones out for you?
I mean, I should think that I would only need one.
It's not Bond Street anyway. It's that's Bond Street is for more dresses. Savile Row we're on. Interesting, you mentioned museums. Right here, number 1 on the street, home of the Royal Geographical Society. They're known for sort of funding explorations around the world as England grows ever bigger. They find ever more interesting places to visit.
Did you bring a map with you?
A map? No.
Will they have maps in there?
It's
I a geographical society
They
should
would
have a
certainly
map.
have maps. I don't know if they're for sale. I could certainly... No, I have maps at home. I'm just having someone fish them out for me.
Right.
Yeah, so there, and if we keep on going down, you'll notice Henry Paul over here on the left. He's very well known. One of the first to move onto this street. Became very popular about 20 years ago. Invented this new style of suit we're all wearing now, with the trousers and whatnot. And got us out of those dreadful pantaloons. Over here to the right is Jeeves, and then just down there's Hawks there. They don't get on very well at all, I can tell you that much. Deegan Skinner over here, and Davies and Son. Let's shop at Davies and Son. He gives a knock on the door, and the carriage comes to a halt. They're yes, good friends of mine. They do a number of they made this one actually. We'll check them out, shall we? Wonderful. He hops out, offers you his gloved hand. Okay, offers you his hand.
I take it.
Wonderful. It's a sort of older looking building, again with that sort of sticky out window, bay window type thing that's very large with a number of suits hanging up there at the front. About 4 stories high, quite a narrow building. You head in. It's very similar to the last shop you were in. You can sort of hear noises of things being worked on upstairs. Downstairs is a little more severe. So there's just there's a number of sort of suits hanging up against walls. There's just 4 of them on one side. On the door side, there's a number of hats. Everything is very sort of minimalistly laid out. And there is a younger man sort of standing at the back of the shop, making notes to himself. He looks up. Customers. Oh, my lord. I was not expecting you today. Your latest suits are not ready. Oh, that's okay. I'm not here for me. I'm here on an errand with my young, what's the word for when someone's in your care? Never mind. That word, I'll edit it in. Miss Thalia Bronton, she has a request for some adjustments for you.
Yes, I have these trousers.
Oh, yes.
I know the measurements, but yes, they need to be changed.
Yes, no problem. We can get on that. He takes out a pen, pencil. Miss Thalia Bronton. How is Thalia spelt? May I ask?
Thalia.
Friends of the Viscount. Okay, let me take down those measurements for you if you have them. And you run through the measurements.
This, and this.
Yes. He asks for the exact measurements that are required for these things. I know them. We don't need to go over them, obviously. That is quite a lot. Yeah, not a problem. It'll be fine. Do you want with the leftover material? Do you wish for that to be kept, or?
Yes, I shall keep hold of that.
Not a problem. We will. Yes, we can have that. Do that probably by the end of the day.
Wonderful.
If that's good. We'd He turns to the Viscount. Would you like to pick those up or have them delivered? The Viscount. What would you prefer?
I'm sure I do not know. I do not mind.
We'll collect them on our way home. Not a problem. They should be ready by 3 p.m. Wonderful.
While that was going on, are there any cravats or bits of silk for pocket squares around?
Yeah. So all these suits are quite severe. They're very dark. They're black mostly. But there's a small section that has some cravats nicely tied around these sort of half busts, I guess. They're carved out of wood. They're just like shoulders and a little bit of chest with a neck that ends there. And a few of them have sort of cravats tied neatly around them. There's some gold ones, some red ones, dark blue. There's even a black one there.
Might I inquire after purchasing one of the cravats, if that's all right?
Yes, of course. Who's it for? Can I
My father.
recommend? Yes. Do you know what sort of colour he would prefer?
These sort of more muted golds are very nice
Muted
with his
golds.
skin and his eyes, and he has often valued my help in choosing such things before. I think he would appreciate it when I see him again.
Wonderful. This, yes. So he walks over there. There's a number of sort of brown wrapped parcels sitting underneath. So yes, here you go. This is one of our pre-made ones.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
sure he will greatly appreciate your work.
Thank you so much. And here's my card for him.
Oh, wonderful. I shall pass that along.
Thank you. Was there anything else we can do for you today?
Just that for me.
For you, Viscount? No, I will just endeavour for you to finish up the suit that you've been working on for me, and no changes really. Just deliver it when it's ready. Please, no rush. For today's bill, just add it on to that one. Not a problem, sir. Well, shall we then, ladies? And we'll
Yes.
return here at 3.
Of course. Thank you.
May I request that we go into the Geographical Society, please? I would be fascinated to see what's inside.
Yes, I'll check if they allow women inside. I'm not sure.
All
I've
right.
never been in there myself, which is surprising since it is literally 2 blocks from my house. But it's quite far. I don't tend to walk this way. I head south to Regency. Oh, not far.
You doing some research?
Yeah. I wasn't not expecting anyone to go. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
You mentioned geography, and I need a map. So
What's the furthest that you think the Viscount has walked?
Ever?
I'm not asking you. I'm covering the time
Mm.
on
I
his
was
walking
going to
to the
edit this
place.
out, probably. Oops.
I would not be surprised if he's never walked to Hyde Park.
Well, of course, and it is just across the road.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so technically it wasn't founded until 1830, but
Oh, so it's not there.
it is now. It's
The
canon.
start of it, the seed of the society.
Yeah.
It's not
Maybe
fully
it's just a
established.
map shop.
It's
or-
new.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a society yet.
It's just a thing.
I just remember the Geographical Society in the Paddington movie.
Oh my god, yeah!
Oh my
I
god.
love the Paddington films so much.
Would they have had those tubes that they in this time?
Oh my god. Obsessed.
He's so cute.
Like, I actually think they're some of my favourite films. Like, unironically,
love that
like,
film.
fully. Like, Paddington 2 is one of the best films
Yeah.
ever made.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
It's those films I can just
so good.
whatever
Literally.
mood I'm in.
Literally. I love them so much. Also, whoever runs the Paddington account on Twitter is my hero. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
He literally is so cute.
I have not seen it.
Hamilton Paddington.
No, I've seen Paddington. I haven't
It's not
seen
the Twitter. I'm going to show it to you. It's really funny.
Yeah, it didn't even move to 1 Savile Row until 1870.
Oh.
I don't know why I got all that. It's too late now. It's
Yeah.
canon. We're just making it up as we go
Yeah.
along. Charles Darwin. I
Yeah.
don't think he's born yet. Oh no, he is. 18. He's 11.
Oh. Could meet little 11-year-old Charlie.
Ernest Shackleton.
He went to Antarctica.
Antarctica.
Are we aware of the existence of Antarctica at this time?
Rosalind's not aware of the existence of anything.
Yeah, I feel like Captain Cook discovered that.
Captain Cook.
He discovered Australia. Discovered, you know what I mean.
Oh, January 1820.
Invaded.
So We've only just found out about Antarctica.
So you
Found out about
you've been fascinated by this new talk
the
of
Antarctica unveiling.
Yes.
No, I know.
Guess we'll just wait.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Just say that women aren't allowed in, and then it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they probably weren't.
Well, there you go then. Solves our problem.
Yeah.
But they're mostly interested. I mean, they're not going to have. Okay. So he turns the carriage around, and you head back up to the Royal Geographical Society. Yes, it's about 6 buildings. He hops back out. Wait right here, ladies. I'll make a quick inquiry and see what we can arrange.
Thank you.
Did he really just get back in the carriage for 6 seconds?
I could have done this myself.
So as you look out the carriage windows, you see this large red brick building with multiple chimneys coming out the roofs. It's 4 stories high. There's a sort of gated front entrance to it where a number of horses and carriages are currently parked with these big black double doors with a few steps leading up to. It looks very, very grandiose. It's quite a new building. Many windows, and the building is has a couple of wings to it. Yes, and you watch the Viscount head through, give a couple of nods to some men, raps on the door and just lets himself in. And he disappears behind the door. You wait for about 5 minutes. Do you want to do anything in that 5 minutes, or do I skip ahead?
What other shops can I see?
It's all men's clothing shops. Okay. A few minutes later, the Viscount hops back out again with a skip and a jump down the steps, and comes back to the carriage, and climbs back inside. Dreadfully sorry. They are not meeting today. It seems they're a bit of a dinner club. It seems so. That people will be around in the evenings. We could perhaps pop back then.
Do they not have anything on record? All I need is the most recent map of London. I'm willing to pay anything for it.
I'm not sure they have maps of London. They're much more interested in exploring further afield. Certainly there are map makers in London, and we can visit some of them if you would like to.
Well, yes, if the Geographical Society is not a cartographer's, then...
No,
yes.
I mean, I imagine they have maps of the Africas and this new Antarctica.
Oh, yes, I've heard a lot about it.
And the South Americas, of course. But I suspect maps of London would not be within their purvey.
Very well.
But they did say they allow women to sit in on some of their lectures if they're quiet, they said. I do apologise. That was his words, not mine. But they don't allow them to speak or be members.
Very well.
And if that's not factually accurate, who cares?
Well, I am not looking to become a member, I would just like a map. That is all I need.
Yes. Well, as I said, I do have a number of maps of London tucked away. I don't need them, so they're not to hand. But I'm sure someone will have fished them out for me by the time we return home.
That would be most kind.
And, if the maps are not what you're looking for when we get home, we can always come out another day to get them.
Yes. Very well.
Shall we then?
Yes.
Where to next, ladies?
Well, where do you absolutely insist we do not miss?
Well, obviously, Bond Street.
Yes.
There are seamstresses galore there, some of the best in London.
Yes, I should love that.
Second best in London, I should say. Miss Charlotte might overhear us. Shall we then?
Of course.
Okay. The carriage pulls off. You travel another couple of streets. And yeah, you pull into Bond Street, and he sort of gives you a guided tour out the window. Like, so this is Mrs. Duval here, a modiste specializing in tippets, whatever they are. Here you've got.
I'm assuming Rosalind knows what that is.
Sure.
Taya doesn't. Please tell me.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can Google it later.
Yeah.
I just grabbed the description. The number of auction houses here, that's Bonham's there, and Christie's just beside it. They auction off, well, everything really. Over here on the right, Miss Berry's, very, very in fashion right now. Over there, Bingley's, Miss Blacklin over there, wonderful new up-and-coming designer. Is definitely catching people's eye.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Yes, any of these shops taking your fancy? We can visit them all if you wish.
Well, I would like to pop into Miss Berry's. That is a name that I've heard. And perhaps, who did you just say was the... I've written it down, but I can't read my handwriting. Yes, Miss Blacklin's as well.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not too much.
No, of course. He puts his head out the window. Driver, can you take us back round to Miss Blacklin's, please? So the carriage pulls to a halt, and they sort of slowly do a big U-turn on this wide street. And then, totally. So we're going to have to cross the road now, I'm afraid, after that big turn.
That's quite all right.
So he helps you all down. And
all of us?
Nope.
Same as always then. Wait right here. He steps out onto the road and he sort of puts his hands up. Please, ladies crossing. Please, no, slow down, sir, slow down. He sort of brings all the traffic to a halt, all the early morning traffic. Please, this way, ladies.
Thank you.
Must keep the road safe for you. And then you cross as everybody sort of watches you all. And then when you're safely across, he's like, carry on about your day. Thank you, everyone. He calls in a big voice. And, yeah, the various carriages and horses and stuff like that goes about their day again. Yes, Miss Blacklin's, here we are. I've never been in myself, so exciting times. Yeah, you head in. It's a sort of large open plan bottom floor. There's a number of people sort of working away at the back. You can kind of see the dressmaking happening. You see a sort of a young woman around sort of 25, mid-20s, is sort of moving around between all these seamstresses, both young and old, supervising, and you kind of take that to be Miss Blacklin. She looks up when the sound of the bell reaches her ears, sees three fine young ladies and a man who's obviously important arrive. So she straightens up and comes over to join you all. Yes, what can I do for you all today, my lord, my ladies?
Well, Rosalind's always waiting for the Viscount to speak first. That was what that was. I wasn't just being dumb. Well, if it's quite all right, we are to see about some new dresses.
Oh, wonderful. This is the place?
Yes, I have been told. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Blacklin, is it?
Yes, it is. And you are?
Miss Rosalind Penhallow.
Wonderful. I don't know how ladies greet each other physically. Is there hand-holding? I don't know.
I don't know.
She makes out with you.
Nice. Not canon.
That's how we do it in London. That's how it's called a London kiss.
Not canon.
Was that my only non-canon?
That's your only, yeah.
No, I'm the DM. I get to call not canon all the time.
You kind of get unlimited non-canons.
Okay. Yeah. So she greets you. I guess you probably just curtsy each other.
Yeah.
Yes. We only do custom made. What do you have in mind?
Well, I have been told that you are quite on the cutting edge of fashion at the moment.
Yes, we're trying out new things.
Yes, and I'm interested in, and I've seen a few variants, but I've never owned anything like that myself, as the seamstress in our village could not quite manage it. But the slight lowering of the waist that seems to be coming in slightly, of course not too much, not too drastic, but there's something experimenting with that. I think I would quite like to see.
Okay, she takes a step back and sort of looks over you, inspects your body. You feel inspected. I don't know how you feel about that. Yes, okay. I think I have a few ideas in mind, and you're looking to experiment?
Only in a small manner, that is to say. I should like to...
A slight tweak on conventions?
Yes, a hint at what is to come.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. I'm sure we can do something like that.
Yes.
Do you ladies have something in mind?
You say you're willing to experiment with things?
Of course. It's what I've become known for.
Perhaps something that is not a dress.
Mm-hmm.
A top of some kind, some sort of shirt.
A shirt, yes?
I shall leave the rest up to you. But it should go with green.
A shirt that goes with green. Well, which shade of green?
What shade of green with the trousers?
They're sort of olive.
An olive pair, yes. To go with olive.
To go with olive. Perfect. Yes, we can do something like that. And you're happy to just leave that with me?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, a shirt. It pushes the boundaries of expectations. So I will come up with something that may take some time.
It does not necessarily need to push the boundaries of expectations. Purely the fact that I am a woman, I don't think many tailors would make a shirt for me.
No, most would not. But we're happy to make pretty much anything you can think of, so long as it fits with what I consider to be stylish. I will draw up some designs and run them by you.
I trust you.
As you wish. And for you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it, but is there
No.
Is there something you would have in mind for a dress to be made for you?
No, I am fine to go without.
Very well, very well. And you, my lord, is there anything I can do for you? I am just the coins, the purse today. Thank you. I've never been in here before, but I have seen a number of your works around town in some of the places I visit. I must say, you are the talk of the town. Thank you. May I inquire as to your name? Yes, it's I'm the Viscount Lord Sullivan. Sullingham. He could be a Sullivan.
Not canon that he doesn't know his own name.
Oh, wonderful, yes. And you were about to speak.
Yes, sorry, I just want to add that it is quite remarkable that for a woman of your age to be so esteemed and working with such phenomenal designs at such an age. Truly, all I have to say is I admire you greatly.
That's very kind of you to say. Yes, work hard and you can do anything.
Yes, I feel you should be very proud of yourself, and it is quite remarkable to see. I have a feeling that in a few years' time, your name shall be held with as much high regard as anybody else's.
That you are very kind to say so.
Once again, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. I'd like to step outside for some fresh air.
Sure.
So that's what I do. I stand by the window so that people can see me, but I'm looking about. Is there anything in particular that I see?
Oh yeah, so the streets are quite tall, lots of tall buildings. It's wide. There were a number of large buildings that were pointed out to you. The 3 auction houses are quite large. The others tend to be sort of terraced style buildings all built onto one another. Yeah, every other shop seems to be a dressmaker's or a seamstress or selling fabrics of some sort. It definitely seems to be that's the vibe of this street. Is it's coordinated to be a sort of ladies' shopping area. There seems to be a tea rooms over the other side of the street.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just wait then.
Mm-hmm. Was there anything else?
I don't believe so.
No, that was all for me.
Wonderful. Then just a small matter of the bill. And the Viscount. Yes, I shall handle that with you now. Shall we proceed to the back to discuss these matters? Yes, as you wish. Wait right here, ladies, and I won't be long. And they head to the, further back where she's kind of got a standing desk set up. And she's sort of running him through some notes and stuff like that, and he's just nodding away, nodding. He looks like he knows what she's talking about. There's a sort of little handshake, and he comes back to join you two. Right, that's all done. I believe she said it would take a few days for these things to be made ready, but I did tell her that I would be greatly pleased if she expedited them. So probably 2 or 3 days, and your dress and your shirt shall be ready.
How exciting.
Shall we then?
Yes.
Where to next, ladies?
Well, while we are here, I would hate to miss out on popping into Miss Berry's.
Of course. Shall we all? He hops in the carriage.
I follow.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might take a walk.
Very well, very well. Miss Berry's is just there.
Yes, I can see.
He knocks on the carriage. Who's in the carriage? Yes.
I'm just standing here.
Okay.
We shall meet there then?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
He knocks on the carriage and he says, to Miss Berry's, please. And the carriage pulls off at the same speed that you are walking.
I haven't started walking yet.
No? Oh, okay. So it's just moving very slowly. And the Viscount sort of looking out the window, waiting for you girls to start walking. So he's kind of just follows you back. Are you moving yet?
You know, I really can't believe that he is getting into a carriage when the shop is right there.
I know. It really is quite ridiculous.
Yes?
Thalia, what are we doing?
Honestly, I do not know.
We're just going to dress shop after dress shop.
I know.
I keep standing out here thinking maybe one of our fathers or Archibald would walk by.
Yes, I have been slightly concerned about Jonathan showing up somewhere.
Yes. I cannot help but feel that we are wasting precious time.
Yes, I quite agree. But I, thought perhaps a couple of clothes were a good idea, given that neither of us packed anything else. But now that's all sorted. So honestly, I'm quite done with going into any more seamstresses. 1 is more than enough for a day. 2 is... Anyway, yes.
And a third?
Yes, I believe I shall leave the rest to Rosalind.
And you are standing this entire time?
Yep.
Okay. So the carriage has moved down 3 shops, and as this conversation finishes, I guess you watched the whole thing as you were talking, I presume. You sort of watched the carriage as you were talking to each other. So the Viscount and Rosalind are now standing outside the other shop, sort of looking back at you, waiting for you to join them.
Are there any parks within sight?
Within
any green
sight?
Areas?
Yes, probably. There's probably some small sort of like courtyardy style ones, you know what I mean? That are just sort of tucked in off the street, maybe a fountain, that sort of stuff. Make a perception check. With disadvantage, yeah.
I don't think. I think it's 13.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see just down the road, across the street, there's a small little green courtyard with a couple of trees and a small statue that's sort of surrounded by 3 taller buildings on all sides. It seems to be open to the public.
Perhaps a walk in the park.
Yes.
Do you think we should go tell them?
I think they shall be busy.
Okay. So I'll walk towards the park.
You're just going to walk out onto the street.
Well, you didn't tell me how to cross. I'll wait to try and cross the road.
Well, no, that's not really the question I'm asking. But yeah, it is across the street. The park itself is, like you say, a walk. So I want to make sure it's not big. It's maybe 10 metres by 10 metres sort of thing. It's a small grassed area.
We'll walk around in circles then.
Sure. Okay.
Is there any crossing?
No, there is no crossings in this time and age. It's not super busy. There are carriages going up and down every, 5 to 10 seconds. Just single horses, just people. There aren't pavements in those days, I don't think. Separate to the rest of the road. But there's obviously the main area where people walk. So as you begin to cross... No,
Carefully.
you don't need to panic. Make a perception check.
Both of us?
Sure. Yeah.
19 add 3, 24. No, 19 add 3 is not 24.
No,
22.
You were making them with disadvantage, though, right?
Aggie's not.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Aggie had a great sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
wonderfully.
You begin crossing the road. Immediately, the Viscount is like, "My goodness me," he says to you. They cross. He dashes out onto the street, his arms wide. "Please stop the traffic! Stop the traffic!" I probably shouldn't shout. "Ladies are crossing! Ladies are crossing! My goodness, calm that down!" And he leaps out in front of this 2-horse-drawn carriage that's the horses sort of rear up and they're like, "Yay!" And he looks the carriage driver in the eye. Like, "Do you not see women are crossing the road here?" Brings the whole traffic to a stop. And then he calls over to you, because there's still a little bit of distance between you. He's like, "It's safe to cross now, ladies."
I would like to think we have already crossed by this point.
It's, I'm going to guess it's all, if you don't stop while he's causing all this commotion, then sure, then by the time everything brings to the...
I didn't see anything. I just keep walking.
Oh, it's all happening around you. So you're going to pretend you don't see any of it?
Well, I'm going to, glare over.
Yeah, I'm looking over, but I'm still walking. And by the time, the horse has stopped, we've already...
Sure. I mean, it's literally happening as you walk, everything's stopping. So it's all...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't happen after, it happens during.
Yeah, so by the time he's saying it's safe to cross, we've already crossed.
Sure, yeah. As he's saying that, you're reaching the other side of the street.
All right.
And he as you were, gentlemen, as you were, and crosses back over to join you.
Oh my goodness, that was incredibly brave.
Oh, it's really nothing. It's my duty.
Well, I am very grateful on the part of my cousins.
I just wish they'd let me know in advance they planned to do such a dangerous act. It worries. It worries me.
I understand, but you must remember we are not used to such busyness and such traffic. We barely get a few carts through Bledlow every day. So.
Carriage accidents happen all the time, you know.
Yes, and that is tragic, but thank you. You were quite heroic.
No, it really is nothing. It looks like they spotted the little park over there.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll be fine. I'll keep an eye on them from out here, and yes, let's go into Miss Berry's first.
Yes.
I'll keep an eye out the window.
I shall be quick this time, I promise.
Not a problem. So in you go. Again, I describe a seamstress, dressmaker, modiste.
Imagine
shop.
if I just made you do 10 of these.
Yes, I'm not. Yeah, they're all the same. This one's Sure. Miss Berry comes up to you, greets you both with a curtsy. Good day, my lady. Good day, my lord.
Good day. It is an honour to make your acquaintance, Miss Berry.
Oh, you know of me?
Yes, I have seen bits of your work here and there in the repositories and such.
Oh, wonderful. Where's that accent from?
Oh, a small village, Bledlow. I'm sure you've not heard of it.
I see. Yes, I could tell it wasn't a London accent.
No, but my papa often visits on business and has always been kind enough to bring me back samples of things.
Oh, wonderful. Have you had anything from us before?
I believe a pair of gloves not too long ago that my father purchased, but I'm sure you sell so many items.
See. What's your father's name?
Frederick Penhallow,
Frederick.
the baronet.
Oh, yes. No, he does. He has an account with us. Yes.
Yes. Well.
Handsome fellow. I'm glad he's my customer.
Yes, he is.
Customer.
It
glad
is...
to have his custom. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, it is wonderful to be here myself.
Yes. Would you like a guided tour?
Oh, if you don't mind, that would be quite remarkable. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Let's go into every detail.
Such a kind offer.
And so she gives you a guided tour. I do not describe it in detail.
Rosalind's
Or
really happy.
do I?
Yes.
No. She takes you
You
upstairs.
don't know enough to go
I
into
do not.
guided detail.
I do not. Takes you upstairs, shows you the seamstresses working away on machinery and whatnot. Some are hand sewing, some are like making larger pieces of fabric with the sewing machine things and there's the peddling and the wheels and all that sort of stuff that I absolutely know about, that I've seen on television.
Rosalind is absolutely just enchanted by
She
all
walks
of it.
you through it all. She talks to you about her thoughts on current fashion and where she sees things going in the future and what she'd like to do and where she feels her strengths lay as she's going around. She points out this. She recommends a couple of her employees and Mrs. Smith is so good at her job. She's been with me since the start and has supported me in this endeavour.
I greet everyone that she points out by name and compliment them lavishly.
Wonderful. And then, yes, and after all of that, which is about half an hour, she gets around to the cell. So, now that you've seen what we can do, what can I do for you?
Well, just hearing you speak about the way you feel about fashion and the way things are going, it has made me, I must admit, quite keen to have a dress from you.
Wonderful. Just the one?
Yes, that will be all.
Okay, well, shall we discuss what you would like to be made? I have a number of prints here that we could go over to get some ideas.
Wonderful.
What's not prints? What's the word I'm looking
Fashion
for?
plates.
Fashion plates. That's it.
Yes.
Come with me and let's move over here and we'll run through and see if we can make some sketches for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
So running you through the various fashion plates. She's got pencils and papers out. You spend perhaps an hour and a half.
So I've been in there 2 hours now.
Yeah. We'll get back to that. So I'm giving you so you're going to spend 2 hours in there going over the fashion plates, sketching different designs, having them rubbed out and redone again. So we'll skip to you guys. You find your way to this park. It has a small bench, stone bench. There's a couple of large trees offering sort of shade. The sun's not properly up yet anyway. So you're sitting in the shade. Sun rises in the east. Yeah. So it's you can sort of see the sunlight is sort of hitting the buildings behind you at sort of the fourth level, and I was going to say as you're waiting there you see it sort of lower, but it's really up to you with what you do. You might not be there in 2 hours.
He sure thinks an awful lot of himself, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. You would think a man like himself would refuse to go into a carriage.
Yes, of course. I've been trying to think about where we could go to. And I do not know.
That is why I've been so insistent about finding a map.
Yes, I agree. But it seems as though we're not going to get to a map anytime soon. Are there any people walking by?
Yeah, so I guess, it must be probably approaching 9 o'clock by now. No, I guess, must be close to 9 o'clock. And, there were people sort of taking strolls and stuff. High society tends to rise later, but evidently the Viscount is an early riser. But there's certainly a lot of sort of more working class people moving around, a lot of moving of goods and stock, etc. And most of the road traffic tends to be carts with various goods on them, and various people just sort of carrying large stuff. Quite a bit, not too much shouting on a street like this, but definitely there's a sort of hubbub. But there's plenty of people around.
I stop. Whoever's closest.
Man or woman?
Yeah.
Well, it's just whoever's closer.
Just you don't care.
Literally
Okay.
whoever's closer.
Okay. Sure. Yep. You stop someone. Yeah. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you could point me in the direction of somewhere.
I guess it depends where it is you're talking about, but yeah, probably, my lady.
Do you know a place called Temple's Hall?
Temple's Hall?
Or perhaps there is a hall that people know in a place called Temple.
I mean, there's like Temple's Mead, isn't there? Or is that Bristol? I thought so. Like you're looking for a particular temple?
Well, I was told to meet an acquaintance of mine, and the only name that I was given was Temple's Hall. So I don't know if there is a place called Temple's Hall, or if there is a hall in a place called Temple.
Temple Hall. Temple Hall. Nothing's come to my mind. I'm sorry. I mean, there were plenty of halls and there were plenty of temples, but I'm not making a connection of Temple Hall in my head.
Right. Perhaps you could point me towards a large library then.
Large library? Well, you've got the British Library, I guess. I don't actually know where that is. I've heard of it, though. Where else? Libraries. Never been to a library myself. I've heard of them. British Library. That's the one I know. It's down south, isn't it? Like, further towards... I actually don't know where it is. Sorry.
Right.
British Library, though. It's a big one, owned by the government. Has a lot of books, I hear.
Yes, libraries tend to. Thank you anyway. Perhaps we should, perhaps we'll find our way there, or somebody else could point us in the right direction.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't be much more help. Have a good day, miss.
Yes, and you.
And she sort of carries on down the street.
Well, that did not work.
No. I suppose we ask someone else, or we look for something ourselves, but London is quite big. I doubt we would be able to find somewhere if we have no sense of direction.
Yes, that is why I was thinking a library. I thought perhaps there would be maps in there and other information.
Possibly, yes.
I wonder if his carriage driver would know.
Well, he does taxi all around London.
Quite. At the very least, he'd be able to take us to a library.
Yes. And we would be chaperoned.
Well, of course. Well, that sounds like an excellent plan.
Very well.
So we head back towards the carriage.
Cool.
Across the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, it's not across the road.
We'll be on the same side this
Yeah, I
time,
made mistakes, didn't I? Because I made you cross the road so that he wouldn't have got into the carriage on the same side of the road. No, I guess after you got out, the carriage driver went round again, so he'd be around the front. So that when you got out of the previous shop, the carriage was then outside the shop, so that you were able to get it. So now it is over the other side.
Okay. So we have to push that.
Yes.
So we'll attempt to do that.
Cool. Do you want to make a stealth check?
All right.
Is that I feel like that's what you want to do.
I don't want the... Yeah.
16.
Rubbish.
With disadvantage.
9.
Yeah. 9, okay.
Which is annoying because I just rolled an 18.
Oh.
So if I roll... Well, it doesn't matter. You rolled an 8. 4 plus 4. So he does not see you, Cos. He's distracted by the fascinating conversation, seeing these two ladies sort of back and forth, talking fashion. Like he's going whoosh, straight over his head, but he's what's the word? He's sort of in awe of this exchange of information, but enthralled. He's enthralled by this exchange of information between these two young ladies talking fashion. And he considers himself a fashionable guy, so he's paying attention. You guys should make dexterity checks.
Just a straight one.
8.
Like mother, like daughter.
4! That was too far.
You did not say that.
No, I thought it was going to be a natural 1. Wait, was it?
No.
Okay. Okay.
It's fine. Talia's built like a horse. She'll be fine.
So
The carriage breaks around her.
no, it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Because your stealth check was quite low, so people did see you. But definitely you sort of stroll out, and yours wasn't. But
We weren't trying to hide when we were
you were
crossing
trying to
the
make
road.
sure the Viscount didn't see you, so that's what the stealth was
were
for.
we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you didn't want him rushing out the...
Oh,
I could tell you didn't
right.
want him rushing out to cause another stop at the street,
Right.
which he 100% would have done.
Yeah. Okay, fair
Would
enough.
have like flown through that door like a hit, like the hero he is.
Quite.
And white knighty dual class. Anyway, so yeah, there's for you at least, there's a close call with a carriage who sort of gives you a rude shout as they go past. You don't even know the word that he said at you, but you could imply, you got from the context that it was not a good word, as this carriage driver with his like barrels on the back of his cart that are strapped down, almost runs you over. Little image flashes through your mind, and yeah, he shouts this word at you.
What
was the word?
Sure you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, he's riding along and he's like, "Watch out, you cunt!" And carries
There's a
on.
raven going on that.
No, we only have to raven that out in the early 30 seconds.
Oh.
Well, he did not seem happy.
No. Well, you were not hurt.
You are across the other side of the road, by the way.
Yeah. Come on. Let's go.
So you're heading back down the road now towards the carriage. The carriage driver is, and I don't think we gave him a name before. If we did, I probably called him John because I think I'm funny. This is
Johnny.
No, it's Benjamin.
Benjamin.
And you picked up his name before now anyway, so you know his name's Benjamin Wright. Mr. Wright. W-R-I-G-H-E.
All right.
Hello.
Ladies,
We were hoping you could take us somewhere. We're awfully tired of seamstresses and dresses.
Oh, no, I actually can't just take you anywhere. The Viscount's in the other room, in the shop.
Excellent. Could you perhaps point us in the direction of the place then?
Where were you thinking of?
Either a library or some place called Temple's Hall, or a hall in a place called Temple, or something along those lines.
Or
Right.
a place called Temple, if there is one.
Okay. Libraries. There's the London Library, not far from here. That's not far from here, just past Soho. It's just on the edge of Mayfair, which we're in right now. Other libraries, British Library, of course. We all know where that is. A couple of smaller libraries, I think, are dotted around. Was there a particular one? I'm not well versed on the contents, but I'm sure I could find out.
We have been told to go to a place called Temple's Halls, and we think it may be a library, or
Or that a library might direct us to the right place.
yes.
Right. Let me have a think. And then we'll cut. And then I'll bring it back in.
I'm Googling where the British Library is.
Mm-hmm.
Or the place called Middle Temple's Hall.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the library's at St Pancras.
And there is a place in London called Temple.
Yeah.
There's an underground station called Temple. That's where Middle Temple Hall is.
Or Temple Church.
I think they're together.
Yeah.
They're right next to each other on the map.
Yeah. So chances are you'd point us towards Temple.
Yeah.
Hang on, it wasn't in St Pancras at the time. It moved there in the 90s.
It's just past Covent Garden.
What did?
The British Library.
Alright. It's just past where?
We're talking about different
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, I know.
Temple is just past Covent Garden.
So the library was the British Library. That's what you were talking about, right, Taya?
Yeah, the British Library just said for many years its collections were dispersed in various buildings around central London, in Bloomsbury, Chancery Lane, Bayswater and Holborn. Holborn is right near Soho, so that's useful. With an interlibrary lending centre at Boston Spa.
Holborn.
Yeah, apparently there is a British Library Museum there, but it doesn't say at what year. But it says it started in the 18th century, so I guess wherever.
Then, yeah, 18th century would be the 1700s.
Yeah, I know, so I'm guessing it's still the same. So yeah, for many years, collections were dispersed in various buildings around central London. Bloomsbury the Bloomsbury one is in the British Museum, okay? And then there's one in Chancery Lane, one in Bayswater, one in Holborn.
Mm-hmm.
Holborn is probably nearest where these guys are.
But Temple is the place you want to direct us to.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, King's College.
Yeah, it's by there. It's by Surrey Street and Fleet Street. So much research.
Temple.
Templeton.
Well, if you're going to Temple without me...
Well, you shouldn't be spending forever in a...
I thought this one was going to be quick, and then she started talking about my dad, and now I want to chat with her forever.
Yeah, well, this is only about 15 minutes in, I guess, of the 2 hours that you're going to be in there. And
You're probably on your tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just begun. Okay. Right, yeah, I mean, there's quite a few libraries around. Temples, they might have just meant temple. There's quite a few, it's an area of London. King's College is there.
Could you point us in the direction of there?
Well, it's a bit of a walk.
I'm sure we'll manage.
Well, I mean, it'll probably take you a few hours, actually. A couple of hours, I'd have thought, to walk.
It's not according to this, it doesn't.
No.
It's half an hour.
Really?
Yep.
I guess I just walk really slow.
He's used to the Viscount.
Yeah.
Right, well, I can't really let you go off by yourselves.
Well, then why don't you take us?
You can be our chaperone, can't you?
I truly believe Rosalind will be in that shop for quite a while.
Right, let me just pop in and have a quick word with the Viscount. I'll see what I can do, if you insist. So he hops down, leaves his smoking pipe sort of wispy smouldering away on his seat, and heads inside to catch up with the Viscount. Has a quick conversation. This is early on for you.
Am I still on my tour?
Yes.
I do not notice this conversation happening.
Okay, yeah,
I am
so
very excited
the
on my
Viscount
tour.
didn't join you on the tour. He's just sort of downstairs, sort of looking over things, minding his own business, really. At this point, anyway, on your tour. So they have a conversation. You can kind of see them having a conversation through the windows. The Viscount sort of comes and looks at the two of you out the window. Okay. Make performance checks.
Is that an ability check? Yeah. Well, no, that's a skill check.
Yeah.
Is it still at disadvantage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever. 1, not a natural one.
6.
So you rolled like a 2 or whatever. Nice.
I'm really good at performance checks.
Oh, good for you.
So the Viscount comes out and joins you.
Check. That's a bit.
But all of these are disadvantaged.
Yeah, abilities and skill checks.
I'm so annoyed.
The Viscount comes out. Mr. Wright informs me that you would like to take a trip to Temple.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure Rosalind will be finished any second now. She's just getting a brief tour of the facility. You're welcome to join her if you like.
Forgive me, but I think we know Rosalind better than you might, and I would disagree.
Oh, you think she's going to be a while?
Yes.
Well, we were quite brief in the other shops.
Yes, well, that was while Agatha and myself were in there also. You say she's on a tour of this place?
Yeah, she was quite insistent on it. I just thought she wanted to make sure everything would be up to her standard. No, have I made a dreadful mistake?
If you want to pull Rosalind away from the tour, very well.
But her face... No, I couldn't possibly. Her face lit up so... Oh dear, I see what I've done. Yes. You ladies do enjoy... Right, okay, well... I suppose... How long do you think she would be?
How long would you think, Agatha?
I see. Oh dear.
Let us see. Has she started speaking at all about what dress she might actually want?
Well, they're upstairs at the moment. I'm not in earshot of their conversation.
So I would take that as a no. Has there been any discussion with you about the cost or about when the dress might be done by?
No, they were just inspecting the seamstresses and the facilities
And did
upstairs.
Rosalind seem as though she already knew this seamstress? Knew of her, I mean.
Yes, there was some mention that she'd seen her in the repository.
Yes.
And was a fan of... Oh dear. Very well. Make me a persuasion check.
Both of us?
Yes, you with disadvantage.
Why?
Not you.
Oh.
Both of you are there. You're persuading just with your face, your smiles and your...
Agatha's big mournful stare.
Yeah.
7.
7.
I got 6.
Cool.
That was a 3. I put it... There we go, 3.
Okay.
Oh.
You got a 1.
We're very
This man
persuasive.
rolls the most wild rolls.
Benjamin, I hate to trouble you, sir, but you can escort the young ladies, can't you, and keep them safe? Yes, my lord. No, ain't no problem. I can do that. You're always safe with me. He's a big guy as well. Like he's quite hairy as well. So he's got his arms rolled up because he works hard with the horses. Like he's got tanned skin, thick black hair on his arms. He's well shaved. He's very clean. But yeah, big guy. Used to working with big animals, I guess, and a coach and whatnot. Yeah, no problem. So you think I should come back and pick you up later? Yes, I believe I will wait here for Miss Penhallow to be ready, and there is a tea shop over the road, so if you're not back by then, we will head over and you can find us there, I imagine. I believe I can make the walk. It won't be a problem. I'll just take my time. Is that canon?
Canon. Man was injured in the war.
Yes, and just take the ladies wherever they please for, say, an hour? 2 hours.
That's more likely.
Perhaps I will wait in the tea shop. No, I must do my duty. Very well.
Is this Thalia or Maijai?
Please don't travel too far, but Benjamin, Mr. Wright will keep you safe. He's always, yes, he knows the town well. And you can trust his expertise in these matters. Keep him close, and be safe, ladies. To Temple, you say?
To Temple.
For the libraries, I imagine, and the college.
Yes.
Fascinating. He takes off a ring and gives it to Benjamin. This should help you. My ring should, well, you know. But for your sake, he explains it. This ring should make sure you can get into any places that they wouldn't normally allow you. Drop my name, of course. It works. I'm terribly rich. Very well. Be safe, ladies. And we will wait for you here.
Thank you, and yourself, don't exert yourself too much.
No, quite right. I believe I can get them to find me a seat inside anyway.
Yes, make sure you get your rest.
Yes. Thank you. I think your concern warms me.
I'm so glad.
Do you want to make a deception check for that?
Disadvantage.
Or persuasion, but I think it's deception, isn't it?
Got -1.
Yeah.
It's only persuasion if you're telling the truth.
I do think you should get some rest.
Okay, then I guess it's persuasion.
13.
13, okay. Thank you. Very well. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Was there anywhere particular you had in mind? We should lunch somewhere. Well, we're standing outside the carriage.
Oh, okay, then I'm already getting in the carriage.
So he's just saying as you're getting... should I arrange somewhere for us to lunch? Somewhere fancy? Perhaps along the river. We could... I could make arrangements.
Very well.
There's a new place called Weatherspoons. That's not canon. We're never...
I need to stop doing this. Our viewers are going to start getting really confused.
I know.
You can't keep making 2 timelines.
The non-canon AU.
I did just look up when Weatherspoons was founded, not until 1979, so...
Damn it. Not a cheeky spoons for my account.
What about cheeky nandos?
Like, I've never quite been in a place like this. I must say it's exciting and exhilarating. Oh, I've been attacked. A man has punched me in the face. What should I do?
We could go to Fortnum and Mason.
Oh, he goes to Fortnum and Mason.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back the way we came on Oxford Street, I believe. Fortnum and Mason, yes, they are a wonderful import-export business, and they do teas there.
I've heard about it before, yes.
Yes, we passed it earlier, and I pointed it out to you.
Oh.
Yes, that's probably where you remember hearing it from during my guided tour.
Possibly, yes.
Yes. Yes, I'll make arrangements for us to dine there for lunch. It should be very pleasant. Enjoy your journey, ladies.
Thank you.
I do hope you... Yes, sightseeing, I presume.
Yes.
A wonderfully beautiful area, many old buildings.
Yes, thank you. I make my way into the carriage.
Mm-hmm. Cool. The carriage, starts to do a big turn on the street once the road is clear. And you head off southwest down the road towards the river, towards Temple. And if you look out the window back as you go down the street at the Viscount? Okay, so you don't see him sort of just waving away.
What you've done?
Okay.
It's just for my own mood.
I've sidelined you so much in
Yeah.
the last 2 episodes. Your tour continues.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, good. Okay, so after about 20 minutes, I guess, you pass deeper into London. You're kind of heading along the river at one point. Along the road, you can see the various boats and ships that are crossing across and delivering people and goods. There's that smell of the river that you picked up when you first caught sight of London. You now understand what that distant smell was. It's this river. And it's certainly not like home. It does not smell very pleasant at all. There's that sort of fish smell that you're not used to in the countryside, in the sort of intensity that you have it here. I mean, certainly there's, you've smelt fish, but there's no fish market in your town. And then there's the stench of, latrines and whatnot. You're welcome to close the windows, hold a handkerchief up to your noses as you pass along the river. Eventually you get to Temple, and you're greeted by many sort of old stone buildings in sort of this sort of Greek Roman architecture, and whatnot. So as you pull up, you're greeted by these large, grandiose buildings, and the carriage comes to a stop. The driver gets down, opens the carriage door, and steps up to speak with you. Right, so, right here we've got, this is the college, King's College. What did you want to do?
We'll just look around.
Look
I
around,
suppose.
yes.
Okay then, I will, let's find somewhere to put the carriage then. Probably one of the, there should be an inn nearby that we could probably, pay to have them look after, because I can't just leave it here.
You don't have to accompany us.
Oh, I'm actually duty bound to, I'm afraid. I would lose my job if I didn't accompany you around. I've been tasked with this. Right, okay, so he hops back up. You do little 5-minute between a few roads, he spots somewhere a sort of larger, busy-ish inn that clearly has a sort of stables out the back. He has a brief conversation with someone, takes the carriages in this inn is the sort of, it's a pub, and the sort of people that are frequenting it are very well dressed. Many sort of black clothed people in wigs and whatnot. Those sort of old-fashioned wigs that you've seen like your ancestors, your parents would wear in the past and stuff like that. And the occasional travelling judiciary members that would come to your town. So you recognise that these are lawyers and judges and that sort of stuff. And they're all having drinks in this pub, early breakfasts, that sort of stuff. You hop out your carriage and head back out onto the street. Right. They said they'll look after the carriage while we're here. So, where can we go? Where do you want to escort to? Just see the sights?
Yes, I suppose.
Yes.
I would just like to know the names of places and, yes, that's all. I suppose. Just look around.
Right. Okay. Well, you've got everywhere around us. You've got a number of the sort of old places for lawyers and whatnot. So we just start walking, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he sort of points out various grandiose buildings. As you walk along, there's Arundel House and the college, obviously. A number of sort of fancy newer buildings for various law firms. He walks you sort of around the Strand. It takes you past down Fleet Street. Well, you've heard of Fleet Street because it's big for publishing. So he points out a few different sort of newspaper publishing buildings and other publishings. He points out one of the publishers that you know is your father's, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that one's owned by I was trying to think of a name. All I can think of is Gilbert and Sullivan's. It's canon. That's Gilbert and Sullivan's over there. They were sort of book publishing house. Some of these newspapers.
Agatha, would you mind going in there?
In where?
In the publishing house. It's one of my father's.
Of course not. Yes, let's go in there.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see what we can do. Okay. So he goes up to the front door. Gives it a hefty knock. There's no answer. So he tries the door because it should be open. So the door opens. You can sort of walk along a sort of corridor, and there's a sort of number of closed off rooms. He just knocks on the first door. No answer. Knocks on the second door. And you hear a small muffled voice. Who is it? Who is it? So he opens the door. Right. Sorry to interrupt. We just. Why are we in here?
My father owns the Sienna store.
Yes. Well, it's not a store. It's print and office. Right. We've got a young Thalia Bronton here of Gilbert Bronton's ilk, I guess. And that small man's... Taya Bronton's here? Well, my goodness. Yes, send her in. And you see a small man, smaller than you. He's about 5 foot tall.
He's your height.
He's a small man, inky fingers, little hat, clothes. Yeah, he's wearing clothes. It's good to know. He looks up. My goodness. I haven't seen you since you were smaller than me. And this is, you don't remember his name, but you definitely remember seeing him visit the house a number of times. Thalia Bronton, you probably don't remember me.
I remember you. I must admit, I don't remember your name, I'm afraid, but I do remember your face.
Quite all right. You can't have been more than 8 years old, I think, when I last visited your home. Charles Adams.
It's lovely to meet you again.
Yes, lovely to be reacquainted with you.
Yes.
Whatever are you doing in London?
Oh, we're just visiting. And I just thought I would have a look around, and I saw the name and recognised it.
Yes.
So I just thought I'd come and say hello, I suppose.
Oh, that's wonderful. Your father's not here at the moment. I haven't seen him for a while.
When did you last see him?
Oh, couple of months ago, I guess.
All right.
Yes, he tends to pop in now and then. I'm sure he'll be around. Yes, I guess he's off. I guess he's not at home, obviously, otherwise you'd know. No, I imagine he's at one of the other publishing houses, I guess.
Yes, I suppose he did tell me of plans of travelling and such.
Yes, he does like to travel.
Yes, he does.
There was talk of, we have been considering opening up a publishing house in Paris.
Oh, really?
Yes, he didn't mention recently that those were his solid plans, but we do have some thoughts. I'm excited. He did say that perhaps I could head up the Paris.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yes.
I would desperately love to go to Paris. Perhaps when the store is opened, I might come and visit.
Yes, that sounds like a dreadfully good idea. Would you like me to show you around?
Yes.
The warehouses are out the back, and it's a little noisy, a little dangerous, but we can pop our heads in. I can point out what goes on here.
My father doesn't have an office here or anything, does he?
Yes, of course. It's the first door here.
I wondered if I could also look in there, just to see how he runs things.
Yes, not a problem. Come with me. And he reaches into his own desk, pulls out a key. Yes, this way. And his little legs take you. He pushes past you back to the front door, unlocks it. Yes, this is his office. This is where the magic happens, as he likes to say. I'm not quite sure what magic, but yes. I'm afraid it's exactly as he left it. And it's a mess.
Yes.
Yep.
This is, yes, he says this is the way it works best for him, and if I ever tidy it, I'll be out on my boots, he said. He didn't say boots, he said something else, but, you know, I think you catch my drift.
Yes, Father does have a particular way that he works.
Yes, we all have learned to work around him.
Does the mess look like organised in any way that I would...
It's what you would expect, yeah. Nothing is out of place for your father. There are piles.
I just sort of like wander around looking.
Cool, yeah. Make a perception check. Disadvantage.
10.
Cool. Yeah, so there are a number of, what do you call submissions for books. What's the word?
Manuscripts.
Manuscripts, that's the word. So there's a number of manuscripts, a lot of manuscripts sort of dotted around everywhere, on the desk, by the window. Some are on the floor, some are sort of all lined up along shelves and sort of bent into sort of C shapes as they all sort of fold over each other. A couple on his desk are sort of half open with sort of notes scribbled on the sides and things like that. There's a pot, an ink pot with a quill in it that you pick up out of curiosity, and it's dry. You pick up the inkwell and you pick up the quill, and the whole thing comes up because he didn't fix that. A number of books you recognise, books you don't. A sort of a journal that sits on his desk with various notes in, where he's got notes of the different manuscripts and sort of markings next to each one, indicating whether he thinks it's a good one for publishing or not. That sort of stuff.
Thank you. It's all rather fascinating.
As I'm surprised he hasn't brought you here for a tour before.
Yes. I suppose there's just so many.
Well, how many do we have now? I think we're up to 5 across the country, and we're thinking 6 in Paris.
Yes.
Is there anything you need?
I do not know. I could not see anything that I could possibly need.
If there is anything I can do to help you, let me know.
Yes, I think Thalia and I would like to be in here for a little while. Feel free to go back to work. We are quite safe in here.
Oh, if you're sure, but please don't enter the warehouse without me if you want to talk.
Of course not.
It's just much too dangerous. There are chemicals and machinery.
Of course. Thank you.
Not a problem. I will just be next door where you found me then. He gives you a little bow and scuttles off back to his room. Benjamin sort of just stands there awkwardly in the doorway, being big.
If you would like to step outside and continue on with your pipe, we wouldn't mind it.
Right, okay. Yeah, I'll be outside then. I'll just stand outside, a couple of steps away. Wonderful. He heads outside. He's already taken his pipe out before he even gets out the door. He's filling it. You can see him out the window. He's filling his pipe. Just lights it. Match. If matches were invented back then, whatever they are now.
Close the door.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if perhaps Father might have left something here.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Should we have a look?
Yes, I had a glance around and I couldn't see anything, but obviously I didn't want to look with everybody here. Yes. If we could try and leave things how they are there.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
We're going to have a look about.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
15.
14.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you just find a lot of sort of work stuff. And as do you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Nothing too exciting. I mean, some of the books sound really interesting. Some of the manuscripts, you're like, oh, yeah, he should definitely publish that one. That sounds great.
But nothing of interest on any of the other stuff that we found?
No.
No, like, secret things hidden anywhere?
No, you haven't found anything.
I mean, it was a long shot anyway.
Yes.
Do you think he's alright?
Thalia, I honestly don't know.
Well, best continue on, I suppose.
Yes, let's.
There wouldn't... Do you think we should look in the warehouses, or...
I can't imagine we'll find anything in there.
No.
Just paper and ink.
Yes, I imagine so. On we go then.
Are you sure? We can stay here as long as you'd like.
There's no point staying if there is nothing to be found.
Very well.
Right, I shall go say goodbye then.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Go knock on the other door.
Yes, come in.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Are you ready for that tour?
Perhaps I shall come back for the tour another day. We've realised that we've got some other places to go and see as well.
Oh, that's quite all right.
And I wouldn't want to bore the other two. Perhaps I'll come back by myself sometime.
Yes, you should mention it to your father. He would probably enjoy giving you a tour much more than I would. Not to say that I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm just saying he would enjoy giving you the tour.
I'm sure he would.
Are you quite well?
Yes, completely. Thank you.
Cool. Make a deception check.
One. Not a natural one.
No, because that would be 0. My goodness. Please, if I've done something to upset you, I'm very sorry. Please, here's a clean handkerchief for your tears.
There's a couple of ink.
No, it's clean. Are you sure there's nothing I can do for you?
No, not at all. I think it's just, being here, being where it all happens. It's a lot. I hope to be able to be more of a part of it someday.
That sounds wonderful. I would love to work alongside you. In Paris,
Yes.
if you're lucky.
Hopefully.
If your father throws me a bone.
Thank you. I will come and visit again.
Yes. Terribly sorry to have caused you distress.
No, you haven't at all. Not at all.
Let me show you out.
Thank you, and I hand him back the
Mm-hmm. It leads you to the front door, opens it for you. Yes, please come back soon. I'm sure your father would love to give you a tour.
Yes, I'm sure he would.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, ladies.
And
Gives you a
you.
bow. Sort of waits for you to depart. And that's where we'll take a break. And we're back.
Hey.
Shall
Hi.
we?
Shall we?
Okay. You had just left one of your father's publishing houses.
I'm still at Miss Berry's.
You are, at this point, deep into the discussions
Nice.
about what you want your new dress to look like. Did you want to roleplay that? Please say no.
No, it's fine. I won't put you through it.
Thanks.
You have a sense of what that's like.
Okay, the two of you are now heading out. You're walking along Fleet Street with Benjamin, Mr.
Right.
Mr. Wright.
Is he smoking his pipe?
Not around you. Considered impolite.
You wanted a puff, didn't you?
You take a walk. Right, well, yep, this is Fleet Street, as I was saying before. We can, if you want, it's quite a bit of historic places. Through here is Temple, Temple proper. So through this archway here takes you into the inner temple, which is not a temple, obviously. Was though. So interesting note. So Temple was originally a place owned by the Knights Templar, which they got shut down by the Catholic Church. I don't know, like 1,000 years ago or something. And then some others took it over, and then Henry VIII had it. And now it's all like, it's all fucking... sorry, excuse me. Sorry, it's all lawyers now. It's all lawyers in there, has been for hundreds of years. But like, it's pretty interesting. So I guess that's why you wanted to take a look. So, okay, right, through here then, I guess. And he leads you to a building that's on the street. Buildings everywhere, really, but this building is nestled between a couple of sort of wooden boarded buildings. But this one has like a stone lower floor with a door and windows on one side and a large gateway through the stone. And above it is sort of black and white beamed, sort of classical housing above it. Right, through here, this was one of the original entrances through the wall into the temple, I believe. Yeah, let's go. He walks you through.
I find it really funny that he keeps looking at you.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
when you're not here.
I keep
Yeah.
being like, bro, what is
Right,
that?
I don't know. Okay. So like, yeah, people live here, lawyers, they live in these buildings and those buildings over there, more lawyers live in them, barristers, solicitors, you know the types. Wonderful people. Down round, if we take the corner here, like that, so that's the Temple Church. The lawyers have to look after it. That was part of their rules of getting to live here and make their own rules up and whatnot. Good for them, I guess. Yeah, these are the office buildings. The people have their offices in as lawyers. That's great for them, I guess. That's the hall. Looks like Lang. Right, it's in a state of disrepair, as you can see, and you see a large building, stonework, and the stonework where the stone's fallen down, it's been repatched with like red brick and stuff, just built in. The roof is it doesn't look great. In the hall, I think they just they do their meetings and stuff, and God, is everyone looking at us?
Are they?
Oh, I knew they would be. I'll make a perception check.
Nat 20.
11.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you notice you are the only women walking around this area with your male escort, who is Wait a second. Your escort, who is male.
Guys!
We're really on an adventure today.
Goodness me.
It's canon. Your male escort.
Why does the Viscount
this-
just have one?
He's very rich.
Just a hand.
He's well dressed, but obviously working class, and isn't exactly talking quietly. But he's just feeling the looks of people more than perhaps you are.
If you are uncomfortable with the number of eyes on us, you are welcome to go back to the carriage.
No, it's fine. I'll do my duty.
I really don't mind. We'll be quite okay.
The Viscount would never hear of it. Right, so what else have we got? Oh, the gardens, they're really nice.
Actually, I'd like to look around the hall. At least get a bit closer.
Oh, we could get a bit closer, I'm sure. I was going to point out the libraries over there as well, the other side of the gardens.
Yes, I'll look at that just afterwards.
Right, alright, cool. The halls then. Okay, and he just sort of marches off with you guys towards the hall. I have no idea what they do in there. I don't know if they still use it. Oh, you, hey! And he just sort of motions to some young, studious-looking chap with his little funny hat on that implies that he's like a university student of the law. What goes on in the old hall now? Oh, right, yes, I believe, just various gatherings and whatnot. It's not the building we tend to use the most anymore because it's getting a bit old. But yeah, we still have little events in there now and then. I believe they're doing work on it at the moment, some inner renovations. Just, I think some of the beams were rotten, so it's all closed off at the moment. We often have sort of smaller celebrations and gatherings. I believe when I graduate, I will have my graduation ceremony in there, as long as the beams don't fall down, I suppose. But yes, no, it's been closed off for renovations the last few weeks. Right, cool. Run along. Yes, okay. And sort of teenage boy sort of carries on in his walk. Well, yeah, sounds like it's closed, but like we can put our head in if you want. So no one's stopping us. Yeah?
Might as well.
Cool. People said cool back then. But the sun will be up soon and shining on us, and no, it already is by now. Yeah, it's not cool at all. Right, let's have a look in here. He doesn't bother knocking, he just sort of opens up the door and he's like, yeah, they're busy in here, but like you can have a look around. It's pretty fancy, I guess. And he sort of steps back so you can put your head in, see this large hallway. Hall. I don't know, I keep calling it a hallway.
Can you see anything?
Sure, make a perception check. With disadvantage.
21.
21. Cool. Yep, you both put your heads around and...
I see nothing.
Yes, but dark, your eyes haven't adjusted from the sunlight. You looked up at the sun earlier and you was like... okay, you have a look down and there's sort of scaffolding has been built up all the way along to reach the upper roof where these large dark beams of wood are stretching across at various angles. And yeah, scaffolding's been set up and there are men up on the scaffolding, sort of there's hammering and sawing and stuff like that, and quite a bit of shouting as people are sort of making sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's lit by mostly gas and candles, just in the upper area at the moment. Downstairs is mostly unlit except for a sort of narrow corridor where the men are walking back and forth when they need to. There are sort of stained glass windows down the sides letting in light. It's a grand hall with sort of stone flooring that's cracked in a few places and it's all a bit dusty at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Are there like any like rooms around this hall that are like separated?
Yeah, there seems to be a few doors to other bits that you can see.
Are we able to go inside? No?
Not if they're doing construction and stuff.
Fuck.
Did you say that out loud at all?
No,
or just
no,
thinking it?
no. It's not canon.
Does Agatha know the word fuck?
That was your only not canon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Well, it seems like they're busy in here. I'd hate to get in the way. Perhaps we go look at the library?
yes, good idea.
The library. Yep, sure. Okay. It's over through the gardens. We could take a walk through there, I suppose. I like gardens. And so you cross over from the hall, and you walk through these very beautifully maintained gardens with sort of large hedgy looking trees and stuff like that. Some larger ones for shade underneath. There are sort of rose bushes, and there's a couple of fountains in there. You cross through over that to a medium-sized building, I guess. Single floor, quite wide. This is the library, I believe. Does say library up there, so that'll be it.
Indeed it does.
Right, okay. He goes and knocks on the door. Puts his head in. Right, this is the library, is it? Yes, sir. Is there something I can do for you? Oh, we just got some young ladies with me, with the Viscount. They're hoping to have a bit of a look around. Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry, but the library is not a public library. It's for members of the Inns of Court, I'm afraid. Sorry to have wasted your time. Right, yeah, but, you can't make a bit of an allowance for...
The ring, Jerry, the ring.
Oh, right, yeah, Viscount Sallingham, I'm his coach driver. He said this might open up some doors as proof of... Yes, I work for the Viscount. Yes, but the Viscount is not a member of the Inns of Court. Now, you are, if you wish, you can write to the master of the library to ask permission to peruse some of our works. Was there a particular book you were looking for? As we do allow members of the public with special permission to inspect books if they can request them by name.
What was there was the name of the book written somewhere.
I'm waiting, ladies. I don't have all day.
Well, I'm not here. I don't know why you're looking at me.
I don't know either. It's because you're in pink. It's just attractive. Brings the eyes in. Draws
The
them.
only book I've written down is History of the British Isles. But I reckon that's a fairly...
That's your one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know then. A book on the...
Astrology.
Yes, that's the word.
Yes.
Astrology. You don't have much in the way of astrology here. Your best bet, I believe, would be going to probably the Royal Observatory. They have a growing collection of
Maybe it
books
was not astrology we meant then.
Perhaps. We would... but my cousin Agatha here does love classic text and is intrigued by the ways that people used to think, and so we thought perhaps there would be something in here that would enlighten her more about philosophies and
British laws.
laws and religion and anything along those lines.
Yes.
Right. I mean, yes, we have an extensive collection of law books here.
Anything...
Well, we didn't have a specific book in mind. We just thought...
I see. Well, I think your best bet would be to send a letter then to the library master, outlining your request and then waiting for a response.
Yes. Could we possibly ask just one more thing?
Yes.
You have said that the Viscount is not a member. I'm just wondering if any of our fathers are. Would you be able to tell us this?
Any of your father's lawyers?
No.
I imagine not.
But my father is incredibly interested in many things, so...
As is mine.
Right, I see.
That was a Freudian slip, sorry.
Names?
Gilbert Bronton.
Harold Pentecost
Or Frederick Penhallow.
Yes.
That is our cousin's father.
Let's see. Frederick Penhallow. Right. Yes. I can certainly make an inquiry for you.
Did you say Herbert?
Herbert Sherbert.
I was going to say.
Are you not able to request this information from your fathers yourself? It would probably be faster.
I was just wondering if you knew.
I do not, I'm afraid.
You do not recognise the names?
They are not familiar to me. Oh well, Penhallow, of course, is a royal name, but yes, with a history. But no, I don't recognise them as being a member of the law.
Very well.
Yes, there was just one other word that I was wondering if you would recognise.
Hold on. Yes, what's that?
I can't quite remember it though. I saw it written down somewhere. And I'm sure. Do you remember it? It was written down in the fraternitas.
Oh, fraternitas custodium, I believe, or something along those lines.
Custodian. Oh,
yes, that's it.
Latin.
Yes.
Yes.
We wondered if you could tell us what it meant, or if you'd recognised it at all.
Custodius. I suppose one would probably translate that as brotherhood, fraternis. What did you say the other word was?
Custodium or
Brotherhood of.
It is custodium.
Custodian.
Brotherhood of custodians, I suppose, though that would not be. Perhaps the closest translation would be. This is not my forte, but brotherhood of. As I. Custodians would not. I suppose, yes, Brotherhood of Custodians is the closest I could come up with for that. I don't really have the knowledge of context to correctly translate fully, but that would be my first guess, the most obvious answer.
What are custodians?
Custodians are people that look after things. Often in the past, I believe that the word has more of a military connotation, but don't take my word on that.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, not a problem. Sorry I can't be of more help, but if you write a letter I'm sure something can be arranged, especially with the Viscount's name attached to it.
Yes.
Thank you
for your time.
Right, yes, not a problem. Make a perception check.
4.
10.
4 and 10, you know what, doesn't matter then. Yeah, cool. Oh.
What have you done?
Kicking the camera.
Naughty.
Naughty.
Right.
Naughty.
You thought I was going to ask what kind.
Yeah, we all did. We all did.
I was really confused
Cunt
by
or
why
fuck?
you were all laughing at me.
And then the way you were looking at me, I was like, are you going to make Agatha say cunt? No.
But
Okay.
Agatha doesn't know that it's...
That's true.
I mean, she knows it was shouted at them nastily by someone, but...
Made you feel funny. It made me feel dirty.
I was really confused on what you were like.
At least I wasn't the
I
only
was
one
like,
that thought
Talia's
that.
really going to ask this random, like, stuffy old man at this library, what does cunt mean?
Yeah.
What's a cunt?
Anyway, so you all leave. Okay, well, I guess that wasn't quite what you were looking for, but, like, more sightseeing then?
How long's it been?
It's been about an hour.
Exactly.
It's been 1 hour and 7 minutes.
Okay.
So Agatha.
Well, I suppose we've got maybe 15, 20 minutes before we should start heading back if we're going to be meeting Rosalind and the
Yes.
Viscount.
It seems that this temple town is all for men and lawyers.
It does.
Seems to be...
Seems we should come back when we can miraculously turn into men.
Yes, exactly.
Ah, Good one, ladies.
Yes.
Maybe I'll turn into a lawyer.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
Have you ever thought about becoming a lawyer?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Well, they're lawyers, aren't they?
And what's wrong with that? I've heard that they're in quite high esteem.
Right, yes, right you are. Yep, high esteem. My apologies.
You seem to dislike them.
No one likes lawyers, if you beg my forgiveness.
No, of course, I would just like to know.
I'm just confused. I've never heard of someone...
Well, they use all their fancy words to get around things and break laws and get guilty people out of jail and put innocent people in jail. Got no time for them.
Well, that sounds awful. I thought that was the opposite of what they're supposed to do.
Yes, I thought they were supposed to help.
Oh, they're here to make money. Like all lawyers. Anyway, no, I've said too much. Let's go have a look at the church. That's always open.
The church? Yes, we might as well go look around.
Yes, it's one of only 4 round churches in the city.
Oh, interesting.
Bit of a history buff myself. I don't know much, but I do know that much. You've got St. Paul's. You've got Temple Church. 2 others whose names have slipped my mind. Yeah. Right, well, shall we go in?
Absolutely.
It leads you up to a round church. It's large. Has a rounded top, rounded sides, dome, that's the word. It leads you inside. Inside is, it's very well lit. There are windows encircling it, stained glass, so it's lighting up the whole area. These huge columns leading up to the ceiling are sort of wrapped in dark oak with lots of intricate carvings. The back of the church has this sort of wall of various painted, not figurines, statues, that sort of stuff. There's an organ over on one side with like huge pipes, biggest pipes you've ever seen. And you're like, George would love those, I'm sure. Right, yeah, not been in it myself actually. It's quite impressive, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It's the most
Well, that
magnificent church I've ever seen.
ceiling. Yeah. Fascinating. It's old too. Apparently this is the church that was originally here when the Knight Templars were here. Fascinating.
Quite.
Do you know how old this church is?
Oh, I guess like 800 years? 600? Not sure.
It's quite old.
Since like the 1200s, I think.
Well, that would only be 600 years.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Can I take a look around? Anything interesting or any like imagery of?
Sure, make a perception check.
I would like to do the same.
That was a natural 20.
7.
12.
12 and 7. You are just taken in by the church and its extravagance. And sort of, you're more distracted by some of the young priestly types walking around and stuff. Just feeling a bit out of place. You take in the sort of, there were various sort of paintings on the walls and around the outside, just depicting different parts of the Bible. There's the 7 or 12 steps of whatever it's called. Someone out there knows what I'm talking about. But like leading up to the crucifixion, there's a different painting for each step. That sort of thing. Nothing particularly grabs you and it's like, there's no connections made with anything you know previously.
How are you enjoying it? It certainly seems like a place more for you than for me.
Yes. Yes, it's beautiful. I really do mean it. It really is beautiful. Yes.
Are you quite alright?
Yes.
No, I believe that.
If you want to roll against each other, sure. Roll an insight check. You don't have to roll.
No, but... What'd you get?
7.
I just get 14. No, you believe me.
I do indeed. Okay, it is lovely.
Yes.
Is there anyone else in there?
Yeah, so there's you can see there's a number of people in sort of religious frocks. You're still sort of standing close to the entrance where you've taken a few steps in to kind of get a good feel of thing. So down at the far end where the altar is and the lectiny type stuff, you can see there's an older gentleman who's busy lighting candles on a tiered thing, and 2 younger looking people in sort of white gowns, just sort of kind of sweeping away at the floor at the moment. Other than that, it's pretty quiet.
I'm going to go look at the altar.
Yep, sure. Head down, your feet echo on the stone steps as you head in. The older gentleman turns around and gives you a little bow. Good morning, young lady. Are you here to pray?
Actually, I was wondering if you could tell me a little more about the church, this church specifically. I've heard it's one of only 4 circular ones, and it's very beautiful, and it's very old. And I was wondering if there was any history about it.
Oh, it's so much history. This is, as you said, one of only 4 round churches in London. There's, of course, this one, Temple Church. There's St. Paul's Cathedral, and 2 others that have apparently slipped my mind at the moment. Yes, built by the Knights Templars, which were a military order of the Catholic Church, tasked with keeping people safe on their journeys to Jerusalem. They then expanded out across Europe with people's phones buzzing at me in my ears somewhere. I don't know who's. Oh dear, what's a phone? Yes, and they had a temple here granted to them by the king. This is the inner temple, which means it was inside the boundaries of London. And then the middle temple, I guess, was in the middle. I think it was actually in. And then there was an outer temple, which was outside the bounds of London, and I'm sorry. Does anyone hear laughter? No. My apologies. Yes, the middle temple and the outer temple, just different boundaries of London.
Do you know when it was built?
Yes, I think like the 1200s, maybe the 1100s. Specifically 1164. Yes. Did you call me on the spot, I'm afraid? I'm new here.
Right.
I could go look it up if you want. I'm
1185.
Sure that's what I said, 1185.
Also, you're wrong about it being St. Paul's.
Well, you asked me questions. If you know so much, why are you even asking?
No, this is Morne. What?
But I thought St. Paul's was round. It's only round on the top.
It's also a cathedral.
Yeah, it's a church.
No.
A cathedral's a type of church.
Yes.
Promise.
Yeah.
I'm a professional, look. I've got the robes and everything.
Right, well, thank you very much. You've been ever so enlightening. I think it's probably time to leave now.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I haven't been here. I'm just having a look around.
I do want to look at the altar then.
Yes, take a look. Let me get out of your way.
Yeah. I'm just looking around at the various stories being told on the stained glass windows.
Wonderful. I do hope you're enjoying the stained glass windows over there.
I look over and nod.
So this one's St. Paul. That one there is St. Mark. That one is St. John. This one is St. Agatha. Very lovely. This one is, this one's Mary. And then over on this side, this one is St. Matthew. And then you have St. Lawrence. Oh, something is ringing in my ears. So we don't get too many visitors being surrounded by lawyers and all.
Is St. Agatha real?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
231 AD. Agatha of Sicily.
Yeah, I don't make these things up for fun, you know. It literally says on the
No.
window St. Agatha. I mean, I know it's written in Latin, but St. Agatha. That one was St. Lawrence.
Oh.
Did you want me to name the others as we go around?
She's the patron saint of breast cancer.
Well, not at this time, she isn't.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, what do I find at the altar?
What do you find at the altar? So if you look over the
I'm
altar,
not
you'll
asking
find...
him.
Saint Agatha is the patron saint of wet nurses as well, and a wet nurse is a woman who
Yes.
breastfeeds.
She is my favourite saint.
Stop.
Big Molly Milkers.
Mr. DM man.
I myself was wet nursed until I was 42 years old. Okay, I'm very hot and sweaty. Okay, did you roll?
No, I was waiting
Okay,
for you to
roll
tell
away.
me to.
With disadvantage.
Investigation?
Yes.
11.
Okay, 11. You see there is a crucifix, obviously it's the main thing. Then you have, there's a statue of what you believe is St. Paul. It's written in Latin, but it's still readable as P-V-A-L. Well, the V must mean a U. There's Paul on one side. What, you'd pick that up? Did I spell it wrong? Whatever.
I know who she is.
This is turning into chaos.
On the other side is a statue of St. John, and at the bottom end is there's a statue of Mary and a statue of Joseph, and just various then painted backgrounds to all of this. Lots of gold, sort of coated over a lot of it. Some large indented areas where very large candles would be, and there's a lot of sort of wax that sort of drip down over these sconces, I want to say. That sort of stuff. Looks old.
How old?
Oh, the back of this is probably about...
No!
We built this renovated in about 400 years ago. It's not the original.
What happened to the original?
I think just old age and sort of crumbling concrete sort of time caught up with it, and it had to be renovated and replaced.
Yes, time does like to catch up with things, doesn't it?
Are there any like other places in the church that I can go to that isn't like the main hall?
Yes, you'll find back here is my officey sort of area. It has a name. I've used it before. Can't remember what it is. But yes, there's a number of smaller rooms off to the sides for various applications. Keep the communion wine and bless it in a room just over there before bringing it out to the congregation. Over there was literally just storage. We've got stairs down to the basements, of course, just over there. They're a bit wet and flooded. We don't tend to go down there beyond just maintaining it.
Do you by any chance have any private prayer rooms?
A private prayer room. Yes, we could find a little space for you in one of the alcoves, I'm sure. If you...
No, I would like to be in a separate room.
Yes, I said alcove, but it's separate.
Okay.
Yes, there's a curtain.
Not a curtain. I would like a
private room.
a private room.
I suppose, yes, I could make space for you. Follow me, young lady, follow me.
Okay.
And he slowly makes his way to the right of the altar, down towards where he indicated before, his private chambers, where he hangs. Vestibule. Takes you to the vestibule. This is the vestibule, as I previously mentioned. You're welcome to use here for some quiet contemplation if you'd like. Do you know how long you need?
5 minutes is all.
5 minutes, of course, please then.
Thank you.
And I will, if you'll excuse me, I'll go back to lighting my prayer candles.
So he's gone?
And he gives you a little bow and walks away.
I get up. So I'm in in the vicar's office.
Yeah,
Can
basically.
I look around then?
Sure, make an investigation check.
19.
Cool. Sure. So, looking around the room, it's quite small, but there's a sort of row of hangers where various different robes have been hung, and I want to say scarves, but you know what I mean. Those hangy things we put around them. In a cupboard to the side, there's a number of bottles of wine, and then sitting on top on the shelves is a sort of container full of small wafers, the communion biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
There's a collection of Bibles of various different ages and states, all stacked along one of the shelves. There's a large one sitting on his desk. It's open at the moment, with a sort of silky bookmark placed through it. Other than that, some shoes are sitting to the side. There's a chair. Quite a small room.
Any drawers?
Yep, there's a few drawers on the desk that's there.
Are they locked?
No.
So I can open them. What's in them?
In them is there's a small or a medium-sized metal box in there, locked. Some writing implements, some note paper, that sort of stuff. No idea what you find in a church, but sure.
I pick up the metal box.
Mm-hmm. It's heavy and it sort of jangles.
I don't know what comes over me, but I put this box into my little reticule that I have on me.
I mean, how big's your reticule?
Be like this.
This is like...
Maybe like this.
This is like shoebox sized.
Oh. In that case, I don't. He said it's locked.
It's locked.
Can I look for a key?
You can look. No, you already have looked. Yeah, no key turns up.
Alright. Yeah. There's not much else I can do then, so...
Okay.
I put everything back where I found it and leave.
Okay. You walk back into the main area of the church. The priest is, in fact, lighting candles, as he said he would be. You see Thalia standing still close by, looking at the everything. And Benjamin still sort of standing towards the back, his head up, looking at the sort of painted ceiling and whatnot, admiring it all, sort of nodding to himself.
I go stand next to Thalia and I just look at whatever she's looking at. Just a private prayer room.
I don't think there's anything we get particularly interesting.
No.
Would you like to stay longer, or...?
No, I think I've had enough.
If you're sure.
Yes.
Okay. You join Benjamin. Oh, are you ready to go?
Yes, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I think I've had my fill. Shall we?
You sure?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Right, okay. We'll head back to the carriage then.
Yes, I suppose we
Yes.
should head back unless you want
No.
to look at anything else.
Wonderful. Off we go then. Unless you want me to bring the carriage back to you. You've done quite a lot of walking.
No, it's quite alright. I'm sure we can
haven't
make
done that
it.
much walking.
Well, a bit more than I guess I'm used to normally.
Why is it that the Viscount will take the carriage wherever he goes? I mean, we took the carriage for a mere few steps earlier.
Oh, he hasn't told you?
No.
Well, it's not...
I must admit, I haven't actually asked him yet, but...
Right, well, it's not really my place to say, you understand?
Why? Is there an issue?
Well, no, it's not an issue, but I feel like if he hasn't shared that with you, it's really up to him to share, personal medical conditions and whatnot. No, I've already said too much, haven't I? Well, forget I said anything. No. Let's head back, shall we?
Yes. To lunch.
Why is it that you smoke a pipe instead of snuff?
Oh, just a bit old-fashioned, I suppose.
Could I try it?
Um,
I'm just interested. It has an
well,
odd
maybe
smell.
maybe not here with all these. It wouldn't be exactly. It might draw a bit too much attention, but yes, I don't think we'd want to draw more.
Absolutely, you're right.
Let's perhaps at home sometime. I don't think you'll like it though.
Perhaps.
It's a bit acquired, I guess, but of course it's a bit hard to stop once you've started. Anyway. Oh, it's tobacco is known to be quite addictive. Yes, it can, like when you stop, it can make you quite grumpy and headaches and sort of I guess like wishing you could have more. But what's the harm, eh? What's the worst it could do to you?
Well, of course.
Okay, let's head down here then, back through the temple gates, and rub all that off. I mean, yes, this way then. He takes you back down Fleet Street, again past your father's building, a couple more blocks. You take a left. You head down and back to the inn you originally started at. And you head in, find your carriage. Get all the horses hooked up again. Takes maybe 20 minutes in total. Someone out there with horses, like, it takes a lot more than 20 minutes to hitch up a horse. And then you start making your way back to Bond Street, I believe.
Can Benjamin hear us when he's driving the carriage?
Much too noisy. You can barely hear each other.
Oh. So if I tried to speak to Thalia...
Yeah, you can. I'm just
okay.
saying you have to raise your voice and stuff.
Oh.
But you can close the windows and stuff like that
Yeah.
and bring out someone. But there's this dull thud and rattle coming up through the wheels.
Yeah. Do you think that was the right temple?
Honestly, I do not know.
It makes sense.
It does
Temple's
make
hall.
sense. There is a hall
And
it
a
is
library.
in the temple, and there was something about this Knight Templars. It
Yes.
sounds like some sort of.
And a brotherhood. That sounds
They sound similar to
to
me.
a secret society, perhaps.
Perhaps. I think maybe we come back later with all of us
I was thinking the same thing.
and without anyone else.
Yes.
And perhaps we try and look around the hall again.
Yes. The only issue would be how would we convince Rosalind to come with us? It was her idea to come to London, and yet she hasn't done anything.
Yes.
MVP.
She has seemed awfully preoccupied with the frivolity of London, shall we say.
Yes.
But I'm sure if we told her that we thought it would help us find our father, she might realise or remember why we actually came to London.
Yes. I think we all need to have a big talk about a lot of things.
Yes. Yes, there's certainly a lot to discuss that we have not covered at all. Well, if we can tear her away from the Viscount, then that's what we should do.
Yes. Well, I hope lunch isn't too far away. I'm quite hungry.
Yes, actually, so am I. pleasure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. How are things going with you?
I'm having the best morning ever.
Mm-hmm. I feel so about this sort of time you're just really going over the final small parts of the dress. Have you had time to think about it?
What do you mean?
You as a player, if you had time to think about what the dress looks like?
Sort of.
Okay. I was just wondering if you wanted to describe the design that you've been discussing.
No, I think Rosalind knows that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. You come up with the final designs. The Viscount talks costs with the young lady. Everything is agreed, and they say that the dress will be ready in about a week. She's going to sew it herself for you so that it can be exactly the way you want it to be. You don't know exactly how much it cost, but you can gather it's going to be a small fortune. Yes. And in time you are finished, and there's no sign of the horse and carriage at the moment. But you guys head outside with the sun sort of beaming down. And the Viscount says, terribly sorry I didn't tell you earlier, but you were so enwrapped in this talk of dresses and whatnot.
Yes, I apologise. I really didn't think it would take so long.
Your young friends decided to take a sightseeing trip to Temple.
Oh.
And I said I would. They felt that you might be some time, correctly so, as it seems. But I said we will wait for them over the road at the tea house.
Yes, that is a good suggestion indeed.
I'm sure they won't be too long at this point.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you again for everything this morning. I'm sorry to have put you out for so long and...
Oh, not at all. Absolute pleasure. It was fascinating to see you young ladies at work.
You are a man of great elegance and taste of self, so...
Oh, I'm only as tasteful as the people that make my suits. The suitiers. Tailors. It's the word just left my mind for some reason. So I'm only as fashionable as the tailors I hire. I really don't have an eye for it myself, though I do try.
Well, I think you're doing marvellously.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, shall we cross the road?
Yes, I suppose we must.
Great. He walks out into the street, starts flagging down all the traffic both ways, stops everybody, takes your arm. Shall we then?
Of course.
Crossing the road can be dreadfully dangerous.
No, I feel very safe with you.
Mm-hmm. And you head over to the tea shop
Lovely
across
tea
the
room.
road. Yes, it is another lovely tea room across the street. And you,
I love that they're always across
you realise now that the brand name,
chain.
The chain name of this tea room that you also saw outside on Regent Street or wherever it was, no, St James's Street, is the lovely tea room. They have a number of these across. Lovely. You shut your whore mouth.
Some random NPC just walked past him and that was a cafe.
Yes, cafe, tea room, whatever. You get the point. I'm just trying to be funny.
Yes, well, shall we then?
Coffee.
Yes, and we'll wait for them to arrive, I'm sure, somewhat soon.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure they will.
And are you having a lovely time? I can tell by your face you are.
Yes, it has been a truly special morning for me. Visiting these shops is something that I've dreamed about for many years.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Is there anywhere else particularly you'd like to visit in the city today?
I think for today that has been quite enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I am...
Because we do still have all afternoon.
We do.
And I know Agatha mentioned about museums.
Yes, perhaps... I feel like I may have monopolised the time a little this morning.
Oh,
so
not at all, not at all.
It is only fair after lunch, I think, to discuss with the others what they would like.
Absolutely. But tell me, what hobbies do you have that you might, or interests that you might be able to find here in London. London does have everything. Museums for Agatha.
Well, there has been... London has everything. Museums.
I was going to go dress shops for you, and then thought better of it.
Well,
Knife fight for wait, sorry, what?
well, yes, I am sure there is plenty to explore. I am sure I do not know where to start. It has already been so overwhelming between the opera and everything this morning, but yes, perhaps some museums will be a good start.
Wonderful. Oh, here they are now. The carriage is drawing up. Let me wave them down. Benjamin sees the Viscount waving through the window, gives him a nod and a hand gesture, pulls the carriage up, and you girls are welcome to enter the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
The lovely little cafe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ladies, you're back. I do hope you enjoyed your little trip around London. Was it everything you'd hoped for?
Yes, it was enlightening.
Yes, it really is. Temple is a fascinating place full of rich history.
Yes, it seems that
Yes.
we weren't able to go to much places, though. It's all for lawyers.
Yes, it is. It is mostly private chambers, I believe. The church is open to everyone, of course.
Yes,
we looked in the church.
Yes,
Oh, wonderful,
it really
wonderful.
is quite magnificent.
Mm.
One of the 4 round churches I heard.
Yes, that's quite true. I could list them all for you if you want.
Oh, could
No,
you?
that's quite all right.
No, you're right. I won't bore you with it, but I do know them all.
I'm sure
I
you
don't
do.
doubt it.
Bro.
Yes, lunch then.
Yes, lunch.
Yes.
I did say we'd book rooms at book a table at Fortnum & Mason, and I've done that.
Oh, wonderful.
So yes, we were about to order some tea here while we waited, but you got here just in time. So I will make my apologies, leave a tip, and we'll head off, shall we?
How far away is it?
From here, perhaps maybe 10 minutes. I guess 10 minutes ride. Wonderful. Wait right here, and I'll sort out. And he goes off to the woman at the end of the cafe, and he's explaining that you have to leave. Blah blah blah. You can half here, and he leaves a small tip for the inconvenience. Right, please allow me. Heads out, opens the door for you, so you can all go through. Opens the carriage door for you. May I?
Of course.
Go, gloved hand. May I? As always. Miss Agatha, may I help you up?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. And then he gets in last, closes it, gives a little tap on the carriage, and away you go, off to Fortnum's and Mason's, a 4-story building full of imported herbs and spices and goods all over the place. Teas. And you head in.
You know what I'm really excited to try?
What?
The Scotch egg. Well, they invented it, did they not?
Oh, I had no idea.
No, it's true, yes, they did.
Yes.
It's one of their delicacies.
It's such a peculiar concept. Sausage wrapped around an egg.
With breadcrumbs on top.
Yes.
That sounds fascinating. Have you tried it?
Oh, yes, a number of times.
And you like it?
Oh, absolutely, it's wonderful. Very filling.
Yes.
Fortnum and Mason's, they've kind of found a little niche in the market, if you will, for foods that one can travel with, for instance, rather than.
Do you do a lot of travelling?
Between my home here in the city and our land back up north.
And Spain, you mentioned, your vineyards.
Yes, the vineyards in Spain, of course. Your orangeries, the vineyards. A little time along the French coast as well, normally just on the way to. I mean, it's quite a journey, obviously, to get to Spain. So I don't do it more than once a year. But other than that, really, I do keep myself quite busy in London most of the time.
And I'm sure London society is glad of it.
They certainly seem to say so. Well, we're here, shall we hop out?
Very well.
He gets out, offers you his hand, of course. But hand comes up. He offers his hand anyway. Out of you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes, Benjamin, we will probably be about an hour. So, if you wish, you could return home and come back in an hour, or, the time is yours, sir. Benjamin, thank you, my lord. I'll head home since it's only a couple of minutes away. And be back soon.
Thank you so much for helping us, Benjamin.
Yes, thank you.
Really not a problem, my ladies. It's literally my job.
Of course. Of course, if it is just a short walk away, we could have a walk home after lunch.
Yes.
Oh, I think the carriage would probably be a little easier for me.
Well, you are welcome to take the carriage, and the three of us could walk.
I hate to leave you unaccompanied through the streets of London.
Yes, that does sound terribly inappropriate.
I could of course. Benjamin, why don't you bring one of the household with you when you return? Would that be?
I'm sure it's quite fine. We don't want to cause more hassle. The only reason I was suggesting a walk home was to cause less trouble for Benjamin, to be honest.
Yes, I'm afraid. Yes, I'm not good at walking long distances, I'm afraid.
Well, whatever is easiest for you, we shall be happy to keep you company.
Yes, thank you. I do apologise again.
Well, you've nothing to apologise for.
I do know you all enjoy these long walks, but yes, I'm afraid long walks are sort of out of the question for me.
Well, that's understandable, and yes, we shall do what we can to make you comfortable.
Oh.
You've done so much for us already.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Shall we head inside?
Yes.
Wonderful. Cool, you head inside. Mm-hmm. They recognise the Viscount, take you to a nice sort of private booth that's set aside away from everyone else. You can draw the curtain if you want, you can leave it open so you can survey the whole area. And you settle down to pick out your lunches. And that's where we'll end it.
What?
Bruh. Alright.
So we're still talking 3.5 hours.
Oh
I didn't try my Scotch egg.
no.
Fine, try your Scotch eggs.
Yeah.
Can we
at least eat the Scotch eggs first before we end?
Eat your imaginary Scotch eggs.
Well, there might be conversation over lunch.
Bruh.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to come back to.
Okay.
Okay, look forward to your Scotch egg.
It's not that long until we play again.
No. Cool. I wanted Agatha to try Scotch. I remember the first time I ate a Scotch egg and it was magical. So.
Well, come back next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.